Stu said to us, what are you doing? Look, it's a clearance. We don't need to say anything, do we?
No, we really don't.
But we will say good morning.
Very excited about today.
Aren't we? We're like two children.
Very excited.
Seriously. We have got a clearance show for the next 3 hours. It is first come, first serve. Some are low stocks. We've got, literally handfuls of certain plants.
Yeah.
We're just clearing stock because obviously we do get a bit quieter around about Christmas time. Bex and I will take a couple of weks off, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, but we've got plants for under £4. This Cordyline, how much do you think this Cordyline's going to be? Because I'd say £20.
Absolutely, and actually, these are there's a few items in here we really don't need to discount. We don't need to at all. We could keep this stock. We could sell it again. It's not an issue. But actually, yeah. It's amazing that we're getting this. Normally, 20 quid, £25.
And then if you got it even like £15, $14.99, you go, that's good. What about like £12? £10, $6.99.
Hey!
I mean, come on. Have we got a decent stock of these two? Because I want to order some.
That one's all right, apparently.
Right, great.
Okay, that one's okay.
So just to give you a little heads up, Bex and I will be disappearing throughout the show, placing our own orders. So, if somebody think, where's Sean gone? Where's Bex gone? We will be placing orders if we hit low stocks. But what we would say is go to the website, get a head start, because everything is like, and honestly, like Bex and I and Stu's with us, obviously in the gallery, we've been talking about the prices. They are brilliant. It is a proper clearance show. We've not done one of these for ages, have we?
Such a long time, and this is why we're really excited. We always bring you amazing deals on YGTV, but this is like the cherry on the cake, isn't it? What you need to do is get ahead of us right now. Normally we bring you stuff and it's all really well stocked, but today we do have some that are very low stocks. We are expecting sellouts. Go ahead of us, go onto the website, have a little look, put the things you want into your basket and enter the code so that you can see the unmissable prices.
Yeah, because some of those prices that you just saw there, you will not pay anything like that.
No.
The code today is YGTV 4624. 46, that's your age, isn't it, Max?
I was just about to say.
Sorry, yeah.
We've now hit my age.
Yeah,
yes,
there you
hit
go.
my age.
Give it another, another 50 weeks and then we might get to my age because the code changes. But we've still got a free gift as well. This is what we cannot believe.
Yeah.
So with every single order today, you're going to get your Blooming Fast worth $4.99. And that's one of our favourite free gifts. You're not going to be using it loads throughout the winter, but you can keep it in the greenhouse, keep it in the shed, use it in springtime, and you can get great results by feeding your plants with Blooming Faster. It's a brilliant all-round fertiliser, really high in NPK, you've got trace elements, minerals in there.
Everything that your plants need.
Super
honestly.
food for your plants.
Yeah.
What else do we need to say, Bex?
You can still get your free postage as well. So orders over £40, that will give you free postage along with the use of that code. You might need to add a few items into your basket because we've got such amazing deals, but you'll still get that amazing offer.
Honestly, we are excited. We love a bargain.
Love a bargain.
And
love a garden bargain.
Both of us, we're all on budgets, aren't we? Bex hasn't had a holiday for a year, remember?
Exactly. I mean,
actually, I'm a bit skint at the moment because Christmas is coming up and stuff. But I want to get some great bargains today. The Cordyline, I'm honestly ordering it because at $6.99, we'll get this for £6.
I've got that one. I've got that one.
See, I have, but I'll be honest, mine got really affected by. We had a really bad winter a few years ago, and it survived. But
is this the one that created the offsets off it?
Yeah. So basically, the middle of mine died.
Yeah.
So it's got side shoots. So it's
still brilliant.
Oh, it's lovely. But two of these in pots.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very
right.
Nice.
We want you to join the group chat.
Yes, please.
Let us know what you think about the clearance.
I forgot to get the iPad.
Anything you want to.
I'll go get it.
Oh, Neil's there. We weren't sure if you're there, Neil, because I know you're working today. Alistair's in. Unbelievable deals for the next 3 hours. Some of them, when they're gone, they're gone. We're clearing stock because obviously we get a little bit quieter over Christmas and we just don't want too much stock on the nursery. Some of these plants you will not see again potentially until next springtime.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I'll be honest, some of them, because it's November, are not going to look the best right now. Some of them will be just twigs because they'll lost their leaves, but they are really healthy plants that will absolutely thrive in springtime. But get the Cordyline now and spend over £40, you get free delivery as well.
Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Alistair. You're in the YouTube chat. I can see that. Stu's monitoring Facebook. We've also got our email address, ygtv@yougarden.com. Send us some pictures, send us some questions, whatever you fancy. Let's move on, shall we?
Yeah, let's clear our throats, Bex. Let's get ready. So the next Cordyline you've got is Cordyline australis Little Red Star. Do you know what? I would think about maybe getting both of those, or getting two of one, two of the other, because they're both the same. Obviously, they're both Cordylines, but they look so different, don't they?
Yeah, perfect combination.
Yeah.
You've got that colour contrast. We love Cordylines because they give you that contrast, but the deeper burgundy colours really do work well in our gardens. This one's the little red star, so it's not going to get as big
looks cute,
as some of the others. Yeah, I like it in that milk churn. That's really pretty, isn't it? So this one we expect it'll get somewhere between 0.5 metre and 1 metre in height. Obviously, faded leaves at the bottom. You pull those away. That's what forms the trunk, and then that allows you to underplant with anything else.
And we do consider them winter hardy, but if we get a really bad winter and there's lots of like harsh frosts and snow, just literally tie them up, protect the crown. Don't keep them tied up all winter. They won't like that, but just on the really coldest nights, do that and maybe put a fleece over them. But they are absolutely. Look at those. You are beautiful, by the way.
You are beautiful.
Yeah, you are both beautiful. We have no favourites here. Right.
That way.
She was going to do the Verbena.
Yeah. We're going to go to the Verbena. One of our favourites. Sean's got it in his garden. I've got it in my garden. But this is a big one that we're bringing you.
And by the way, you never get to see William, but William helps put the shows together. He's a really big part of the team here at YouGarden, and he's just put a big order in for these, hasn't he?
Has he?
I think he bought. I think you were.
Oh, I was busy
having a coffee. But yeah, he ordered 6 of these. Now it's the Verbena bonariensis. Look at the size.
Yeah.
I mean. That is in a 2-litre pot, 17 centimetres. It's huge, $3.99. And that, I mean, what I would do, I'd plant it as soon as you can, but there's no urgency. In springtime, I'd probably give it a little trim back.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh,
Rooty beauty. That is a very, very well established one. And we love Verbena bonariensis. Borders without barriers, tall, willowy, just so pretty. And this is what we mean. You can see through it. It creates that lovely border, but you can see through it. It's a gap filler. It's pollinator friendly. I mean, the bees and butterflies absolutely adore this. And mine's still looking great right now.
I was going to say, mine is. And what a little tip, I would leave the flowers on over winter because these are brilliant at self-seeding.
Yeah.
And I got about 100 little babies this year.
Perfect.
I would multi-order those. They're normally $12.99.
$3.99.
Look at the display there in my garden.
At $3.99, you'd expect that for a 9-centimetre pot, but this is a 17-centimetre, really well-established one.
So there's going to be no waiting. That, I reckon next summer, that could easily grow close to 2 metres in terms of height.
I agree, yeah. It's a nice established one.
And don't forget, you get your free gift as well. You're blooming fast. 560-925. Now, have I got a hairy lip back?
Yes. The worrying thing is when I've got one.
No, yours is fine. Mine's a little bit hairy. And that's the name of this gorgeous fern. I like the name. What's it called?
Calanthius.
That's a Calanthius. Get my teeth in. Or should we stick with hairy
Let's
lip?
stick with hairy lip fern. It's one of my favourite names for a plant, actually.
It is, yeah.
And we adore ferns, don't we? They are problem solvers. They go in all those shady spots. They create a really sort of jungle vibe, don't they? They can be quite tropical looking, but they are super hardy and they cope in those shady areas. And this is an evergreen variety. Some are sort of semi-evergreen, some die down in wintertime, but this one is evergreen, so you've always got something to look at.
So that is the Calanthius lanosa, but I know it as the hairy lip fern. Double up deal, 2 for $9.99. So many pluses on that one. And did you mention that slugs don't like it?
Yeah, no, I didn't. It's great, isn't it?
It is, because quite often the shady, sort of like slightly damp areas, that's where you get lots of slugs. So things like hostas can disappear overnight. The slugs do not like ferns in general. They really don't. They don't like the texture.
And this is a nice compact one as well. So this is sort of front of border. You know, if you're creating an area with loads and loads of ferns in, this one should only get to about 30 by 30 centimetres, a foot by a foot. So it's a really gorgeous one to fill that space at the front. Yeah,
and that is important. I'll be honest, I put some other ferns the wrong way round, I had to move them. And great for pots, 2 for under tenner. The hairy lip fern there, 561204. Club members, if you're not a club member, join today and you get an extra 10% saving on everything. Now, something that we've both got in our gardens.
And again is looking still amazing right now.
So true.
So good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so there's the geranium Roseanne. I mean, those are the 2 things in my garden, really, that are still looking incredible at the moment. And you get months and months worth of flowers from this. It's really easy, drought tolerant, just super, super simple.
You know, I'm thinking mine's been flowering since May and it's now November.
Yeah.
We'll see a little clip of my garden with this a little bit later on, and Bex has got hers with her Rosanna, and they look stunning together. But again, 3 really well established plants in 9 centimetre pots for £7.49. Works at £2.50 a plant. And these are great ground cover. They suppress weeds. They change colour, so their little daisy flowers go from white to different shades of pink. And what you do at the end of the year, just chop them right back. They're fully winter hardy, and then they will bounce back next year. And they can spread. I reckon mine, in terms of spread, probably about, they're already 67 centimetres, but they can get even bigger than that, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these can spread so well, and this is why they're great at ground cover, great at suppressing weeds. If you've got any gaps in your borders, they work perfectly because they're low maintenance. They come back every single year. And my top tip, as you all know already, is plant them alongside your geranium Rosanne because they mingle in together, and it's a
yours are
perfect
really cute,
combination.
actually.
Love it.
So
it
don't
was an
forget,
accident, but it's perfect.
It's a clearing show. We're getting lots of you watching, lots of you starting to fill your baskets. Right, this.
I love this one.
I haven't got this one.
So I don't have any chick charms in my garden.
Do you not?
No, I don't.
Oh,
and I
Bex.
really need to add some in because these are, I mean, you can collect these. These are fantastic. There's a genus of about 40 or 50 different varieties, and they're so very different. And they provide you with lovely colour, drought tolerant, low maintenance again. Just put them in a really nice sunny spot, and they produce little babies, so you can constantly have them.
And you literally, the little babies, you literally just pull off and put them in some compost, and they root straight away.
And they don't even mind like poor soil.
Oh,
in fact,
no.
They prefer poor soils.
So they are absolutely brilliant. I've got mine in little terracotta pots on my little steps, and they look fantastic. But I don't have this one, the gold nugget.
I mean, look at the colours that you've got inside there. Those rosettes.
That's amazing.
Just stunning, aren't they? And look how many plants are there.
And what you could do,
Because you could just separate those.
You could literally take that out of the pot, just break one of those off, and then repot
He's
it.
going to do it. He's going to do it. There it is.
There you go. I can actually pop that up right now, and
Let's do it.
That will be a free plant.
I'm doing it.
Well, yeah. I'm allowed to. No, I'm not allowed to do that, am I?
You're not allowed to take it home, no.
But I can buy it at $3.99. I will purchase today.
Stu's just reminding us. Amanda found one, so she had a delivery from us, and there was a little thing like this just in the bottom.
Oh, I
Little one in the bottom of the box. So she just potted it. It was a free plant. Love it.
Yeah.
So pulled that away.
That's
It's got
it.
roots attached. Stick that in a pot like that, slightly more tidily than I have. And there you go.
Yeah.
You've got a free plant that will grow and it will produce babies, and you'll just have loads of them.
The only thing they don't want to be waterlogged. So you want, nice free draining compost. If you put them in pots, I would put a bit of grit in the bottom. I actually put grit around the top as well because it makes it look nice.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, but these are, hello Neil is having one of everything, don't blame it. But these change colour, so you get, red, you get burgundies, you get yellows, you get greens as well. So constantly changing and very, very easy to look after. So just don't put them in a really kind of waterlogged pot. You want them in nice free draining, and they look great, I would say, with a sort of like a faux terracotta with gravel around them. Now, something that I know very well is the Sambucus. Now, I'll be honest, you might look at this and go, bit leggy, isn't it? Let's be honest. It doesn't look particularly great right now.
I'd love it if somebody called me leggy. That'd be a really nice compliment.
I'd like it if somebody called me lean. You know what, Sean has got such a lean body. We did a little video earlier, didn't we, Bex? I was stood at the front and I looked. Yeah, Bex like, I look really thin in that. I'm like, I'm at the front like this. But this look, we're just going to show, this is what it looks like right now. It's a Sambucus. It will not look its best right now because these do lose the leaves in the winter. But they're fast growing. And I'll tell you what, in springtime, this is going to look amazing. Yeah. What I would do, if yours arrives and it looks like the one that we've got in the studio, what I would do, that's what they looked like a few months ago, by the way. How many weeks ago was that, Stu? About 8 weeks? A bit longer? It wasn't that longer.
It wasn't long.
But at this time of year, they lose their leaves. Do not worry. What I would do in springtime, I would give this a little trim. Yeah. I would probably take it down. I'll show you in a second, but I would take it down to this one to probably about a foot. So you see there's some nice buds there. I take it down to there, maybe there. but it's a little bit leggy, and all that new growth will give you so much beautiful foliage next year. And they are fast growing, Sambucus.
Really fast growing, so if you want to fill a gap really quickly, Sambucus is a great one. It's actually a really good practice to sort of hard prune it when it's young, because that really does then turn it into a more bushy, full looking shrub. After that, then you can just do minimal pruning, minimal care, and it'll look gorgeous every single year.
Yeah, and beautiful colours. I mean, I've got the...
it kind of glows, doesn't it?
Yeah, we saw it there, didn't you? I've got the black ones as well, which are lovely, but these are spectacular. You've got the black base. So these are 51494, absolutely amazing value. $6.99. So if you have just joined us, this is a clearance show. Did you realise? It is a clearance show. We've not done one of these in ages. We've got so many plants that are around about £5, £6, £7. Lots of them, when they're gone, they're gone. But the best thing you can do is get your order to over £40 to get free postage, or do individual orders, because with every separate order you get your free blooming fast, which is worth $4.99 as well.
Perfect. Yeah. Love that free gift.
So should we have a quick reminder, Bex?
Yeah, so we're starting off with that Sambucus Sutherland Gold. It's just Sutherland Gold.
Sutherland Gold.
It's just £6.99. We are saving £8 on there. You need to go to YouGarden.com to place your order. The item code is 511494. The phone lines are open today as well if you prefer to place your orders on the phone. Just make sure you tell the operator that you've got an offer code, YGTV4624, because that's how you get those savings.
Let us know what you're ordering on the group chat as well. Sempervivum Golden Nugget was next. This is a gorgeous one.
Yeah.
And they are so easy to grow. Just a night. They're fully winter hardy, so don't think, oh, it's succulent, it's going to die from the winter. They're winter hardy. Very easy to create babies. All of the little chicks, you can just literally pick off, repot them, and you've got lots of free plants. But this one changes colour. It's called Gold Nuggets. You get gold colours, you get reds, you get burgundies, and you get the greens as well. But they love, you need to put them in if they're grown in pots, which I suggest, just make sure they're well drained and put a bit of gravel around them. Right, we also have got one of our joint favourites.
Yeah, Lavender Erigeron. This one is 3 of those 9cm pots. You're saving over £20 here. £7.49 or £6.74 if you're in the club. 560640 is your item number.
And they will survive in the Perovskia soils, and they just make great ground cover, and the flowers change colour. Then we've got our hairy lip fern. Now it's on a bog off. It's so you can, or double up I should say. So 2 for £9.99 or £5.99 for 1. And we love this fern because it is compact. It's only going to grow to about 30 centimetres, but it is evergreen, Bex, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, an evergreen one, nice and compact as well, so only getting to about a foot by a foot. Definitely think about doubling up on that one, because you're going to get 2 for £9.99.
Yeah, that's £5 each, isn't it? Or £4.50 for club members. 561204, and as we keep saying, you need to use that offer code. And then this is my favourite, you know.
I know, and it's definitely up there for me as well. It's so easy to grow, and this one's a huge one. I would be expecting to pay that kind of price for a 9cm, but this is in a 17cm pot, and it's just, I mean, I think this is the top deal, to be honest.
Yeah, and again,
we've still got lots to show you. There might be another top deal coming.
But all of these are fully winter hardy. That's what mine looks like in my garden a few weeks ago. But they've still got flowers on. They're great for the pollinators as well. Pollinators love Verbena bonariensis. We call it the transparent plant because you can literally see through it. So I see it as like a chorus member. It really highlights other plants in the borders. It never dominates. It's never invasive. Never takes over. But it brings everything together. And I put it in my garden to really get rid of that harsh border. I have recommended this to so many friends and family. £3.99 today, 560925.
We need to say hello to Dan in the Facebook chat. Apparently you're dusting off your dancing shoes tomorrow, is that right?
Dan! Yes, but I didn't say we were dancing tomorrow, Dan.
I can't see it, it's on Facebook, but apparently you're going to dust off your 80s dancing moves tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And he's called you Lean Sean.
Lean Sean?
He likes you, doesn't he, eh?
No.
Morning, Dan. Hope you're well.
Yes, so Dan's presented with us before.
He has indeed,
yeah. And I'm going out on a night out with him tomorrow, but I didn't know I was going to be dancing.
Where are you going? Don't know yet.
Right, Dan, if you're watching, I haven't booked the restaurant yet, so you need to message me, okay? Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, I'm falling over
That's
pots.
it for private conversations.
We've got loads of pots to show you soon as well, by the way.
We have got loads of pots.
But we're going to remind you of our Cordylines first of all. Love this line passion.
I mean, that is a huge cordyline.
Yeah.
And Cordylines give you that sense of being abroad. They have that lovely tropical look in the garden.
Mediterranean feel, isn't it?
But they're so easy to grow.
Yep.
So again, pots, containers, beds, borders. The only thing we say is if it's a really severe winter, and yeah, we do class them as winter hardy, but just protect the crown, because if you get snow or heavy frost sitting in the crown, it could cause it damage, and you don't want that. But generally speaking, they survive pretty much all winters in the UK, and they form that lovely trunk, so they form like a palm tree look almost.
They do, and Sean touched on the fact that they're winter hardy, so they will come to you, even at this price, with our lifetime guarantee. So if these do ever die in the future at any point, you can get back in touch with us and we will replace it free of charge, as long as we still supply it, obviously. But yeah, free of charge. All you have to do is cover any postage. So that is on anything that we class as winter hardy.
And can we just say, Craig, and you don't get to see Craig, but Craig, he won't, he's camera shy as Craig. But Craig picks all the plants from the nursery, and what he always says to us, he says, look, because we could just show you the best, but that would be wrong. So he just picks the average plants, and pretty much they all look the same, don't they? If you see footage of our nursery every week, and you'll see like 200 plants, and they're pretty much all identical. But this is the size that you're going to get, basically. Yeah. That's it.
Absolutely.
It's huge. It's beautiful. Don't you love the colour of it, mate?
Love the variegation that you're getting on it.
We're good today, aren't we? We're too excited. That's what it is.
You've got lovely creamy yellow colours, but also those stripes of green as well, and it just looks good all year round, which is what I love about Cordylines.
And what you really need to do with your beds and borders, you do want different coloured foliage, don't you?
Yeah.
And when you start to put the limes with the kind of the burgundies and then dark greens and reds, oh my word, it's going to look fantastic. So that's Lime Passion. I am definitely 100% ordering several of those. We've actually got a decent stock.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy loads. I'm not being funny, but $6.99.
$6.99. It's a bargain.
Well, we get them for $6.29.
Yeah.
And so do you if you're a club member. What's your favourite, Bex? Lime Passion or Red Star?
I can't choose between them. I think you need to go for both, because actually they work perfectly together and you get the contrast. Obviously, I'm a fan of the burgundy colours, because obviously we've got lots and lots of green shades in our garden, and so the burgundy colour, along with the shape of those leaves, is going to add perfect contrast in your garden. And I really like this one because it's the little Red Star, so it doesn't get as big as other Cordyline varieties. So if you've got a smaller space, we do talk about gardening for everyone. You don't even need to have a garden. You could keep this on a balcony.
You really could. Loads of you placing orders already. It is a bit first come, first served today. Some items got deep stocks of, others we haven't, and when they're gone, they're gone. They might not well come back till springtime.
Indeed.
Right, we've got a brand new lavender for you.
Yeah, Lavender Sensational.
I like the sound of this one.
Yeah, I really like the sound of this one, but this one is definitely a first come, first served. This is low stock. I think Stu said we've got enough for 9 people.
Is that all?
To get this deal, so...
4 now, that's all we've got left.
That's how quick this is going. 4 people can get hold of this deal.
I think some of you have multi-ordered, because lavender looks great in big groups. You can do a whole border of lavender, can't you? That's what we've got, actually.
Yeah, I've got a lovely long border, but this one's a great one. It's actually a new variety of the sort of the timeless classic of the English lavender, but it's been bred specifically to stay more upright. Now, lavender... You
can actually see that, can't you?
Yeah, totally. Lavender does grow up, but it sort of flops over a little bit, and that's beautiful if it's lining pathways and things. But actually you might want one that stays just that little bit more upright, stronger stems, and that's what you're getting with Lavender Sensational. God. It's classy, it's instantly recognisable, you've got deep purple flowers on here, pollinators adore it, likes a nice sunny spot, and is drought tolerant once you get this established as well.
It's very similar to the lavender I've got, Lavender Hitchcock, but just got a few more advantages.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So stronger stems. Do you think the flowers are slightly bigger?
They do look a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's...
No, I don't know.
Meant to be.
But they look great, don't they?
With this, if you get the first flush of flowers, if you actually cut them back, there's a chance, I can't guarantee, but there's a chance you'll get a second flush of flowers that come through as well.
And the thing with lavender, I've got a couple of lavender borders. In honesty, once it gets to year 4, year 5, it can get a bit woody. I mean, it just sometimes happens if you don't keep on top of the pruning. So you might well want to replace your lavender, but if you want those, they are going to sell out. It's going to be the first orders that go through that pick up the last few handfuls of those. So get them in your basket, and you do need to check out on that one, 561245. That's amazing, isn't it?
3 of them.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Do you know what? I'll be honest, I wish I'd ordered those, but it's too late
you're not going to get a chance. There's only 4 orders remaining of that, so I expect the next time we come back to that, we're going to be telling you that it's gone.
But I like the sound of that new variety. Sensational, it certainly is. Right. what's interesting, Bex and I, we wander around the nursery every week, and actually, do you remember last year? Like, I remember us walking around in there. It was a miserable day. It was kind of like the end of November, beginning of December. It was freezing cold. It was
one of those grey days.
Yeah. And I remember us both seeing this during. It just stood out.
It does.
Amongst the grey. We're like, oh, look at the orange over there, the Cornus. And I think this is spectacular all year round, but in the winter it loses its leaves. That orange is just... It's like your rainbow jumper, Bex. It's the same orange.
It definitely stands out, doesn't it? Yeah, 100%. And it's funny to say that about a plant once it's lost its leaves. But yeah, I mean, the colour that you get, that bright red, the oranges, the kind of pink colours that are included as well. But actually, this is fantastic all year round. Just before the leaves drop, you get an amazing coral pink colour to them. So it's really beautiful. In summer, you get black berries that the birds like. In springtime, you get these dainty white flowers that the bees and the butterflies like. So there's something to look at, but there's also something for the wildlife in your garden as well. I mean, it's a winner.
Yeah, it's a hard worker.
Yeah.
There's something that's and it's very easy to grow.
It's a staple of a lot of our gardens, isn't it? It's one that we should all have in our gardens. I will admit it, I don't have one. Hopefully, if there's any stock left, I might get myself some of this.
I'm the same. I had some in my last garden. It looked amazing, and I loved it. I remember certain Christmases where it was like frosty. I'd look outside and the orange with a frost on it is really quite magical.
It's gorgeous.
And when they get quite big, you could even in winter time put some little twinkly lights and things like that on it. Look good, wouldn't it?
It's an award winner as well. It's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so it's a proven performer. It's garden worthy. It's one we should have in our UK gardens.
And relatively fast growing as well, actually.
Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah.
I remember planting one that size, and within a few years, it was really quite well established. So yes, that's on my list. Hey. How much are you going to spend today then, mate?
Well, I was going to say quite a lot, but actually not quite a lot. I'm going to get a lot for my money because there's such amazing deals.
Isn't it great?
We should have placed our order before we started.
I know we should have. We really should have placed our orders. Right, remember, if you just joined us, it is a clearance show. Go to the website. I mean, we're trying to get through everything as quickly as possible. What Stu's going to suggest in the gallery is put the code in first, because then that will give you all the prices that you're going to pay. So when you go to our show page, you'll see the right prices. So these are the right prices with the code. So things like we've got Phlox coming up. We have got the gorgeous Perovskia, Russian sage as it's known. The foxglove is tempting, $3.99. We just showed you the Verbena. The lavender is about to sell out. The Cornus is amazing today. The Cordyline, I think, is the best value. Hey, what about the cherry becks?
Oh, the Stella, the sweet cherry. $6.99. Yes, please. That's super easy to plant as well.
Stu, did we have stock of the hollyhock? I can't remember. No, that's already gone. Sorry. No, that's gone. That's a shame. Yeah, we thought that was on its way out.
That Perovskia, by the way, just a quick one on the Perovskia. If you don't like lavender, I mean, I love lavender, but if you don't like the smell of lavender, it can be a bit hit and miss, can't it? But you want the look of lavender without that lavender scent. Perovskia is a really good one to go for because it's very similar, likes a similar place. You know, it's got a similar habit to it. Actually, slightly longer flowering. But yeah, that's a really good alternative to lavender.
Yeah, I like the sound. I've never grown it, but
because I know some. I mean, I love the scent of lavender, but some people hate it, don't they? So if you want the look of it, but not the scent, then go for the Perovskia.
And that one doesn't get quite so woody, I believe, as well.
No, not quite.
No. Right. So we're going to move on to Phlox.
Yeah.
And this is a new variety for me because I've got a couple of different Phloxes. But not this one.
Oh, we've got the creeping Phlox.
That's what I've got.
So that one's.
But I've also got some really tall ones, so these are kind of in between.
Yeah,
aren't
this
they?
one's a bit in between. So it'll probably get to about 3 feet in height. Ultimate growth. It'll take a little while to get there, but ultimate growth, yes, it can get there. Spreading by about 2 feet, but it's a cottage garden staple. Incredibly pretty flowers that last for such a long time. Height of summer, they'll come out July time, all the way through to September and into October as well. You get clusters of blooms. They go on these lovely sturdy stems. It's quite an enviable sight when you see it in other people's gardens.
Yeah, I
loved by
Phlox.
Pollinators as well. Great for cut flowers too.
Oh, I've never thought that. But yeah, of course.
You could have these for cut flowers.
Yeah, of course, the florists use them, don't they?
And you're going to be able to, so you can encourage more blooms to come through. A little bit of deadheading obviously is going to help, but you will get 3 beautiful varieties. There's one called Bright Eyes, which is the pale pink, which has a gorgeous scent to it. One called Laura, which is the purple, which actually fades to white at the centre. That one has the RHS Award of Garden Merit. And you've got the Blue Paradise, which are those violet blooms with the slightly darker centres. It's a herbaceous perennial, so it's nice and easy, but yeah, lots of merits to that.
Yeah, but don't we, as Beck said, it is herbaceous. It does die completely down in the winter. Don't panic, because then you start to get all the new growth in springtime. They're just beautiful flowers, aren't they?
Really pretty flowers.
I love phlox.
That last ages as well, and that's what I like about them.
And they do
last a long time.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
When I think about it, you're right. July, August, September. I've still got them now. I might actually know they've gone now.
Yeah, I think they've. Depending on the autumn, obviously, this year's been quite mild, but yeah, it can creep into October.
I know, it's been so mild, hasn't it?
So mild.
Scarily mild. Right now, loads of orders coming in. So if you have just joined us, good morning.
Good morning.
Bex and I are extremely excited because it is a clearance show. I mean, we only got sent the notes for this. I nearly said script. We don't have script.
I mean, I think you can tell we make it up as we go along.
I'm really sorry. I'm learning a script for pantomime at the moment, so I'm actually having to learn lines. Oh yes, I am. But no, we don't have a script. We get notes of the deals, and we just could not believe it when we saw the prices. So it is a clearance show. When certain things have gone, they're gone. Yeah, there's our notes.
There it is.
We're like,
I was looking at it going, are you kidding me? $3.99?
And let us know in the group chat what you think of the prices. What are your favourites so far? That Cordyline is flying. I'm not surprised. So actually, the Cordyline, we could have actually guessed this actually. The Cordyline, the Lime Passion, is the favourite. Verbena is up there, and the Erigeron.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely
great choices.
Perfect choices. All three of those I've got.
Now, one of the lovely things about us both working at YouGarden, gardening is a journey, isn't it? And you always learn. Callistemon right now, we didn't realise, we've had the pink one, we've had the red one, we didn't realise that you could get the honeypot variety, which is a completely different colour. Yeah. I've never seen this. Have you ever seen it?
Never seen it before, no. So I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
You get the lovely yellow bottle brush blooms, which we would expect from the Callistemon, you know, those lovely bottle brush flowers, but they have a gorgeous yellow colour to them, which is loved by pollinators.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking, if you did because I've got like a tropical area in my garden, to have like a red, a pink, and the yellow grouped together,
nice.
That'd look good, wouldn't it?
It'd look beautiful, and particularly because this is slightly more compact as well than other varieties of Callistemon. So we reckon about 1 metre by 1 metre once this gets to full growth as well.
Have you just seen the price?
Yeah, $3.99.
I mean,
that's what I read on my notes when I just said it. $3.99.
Oh, we'd pay $3.59. Now it will need a bit of winter protection.
Yeah. So fleece it, put it in a shed, put it in a porch, put it in a garage. You know, somewhere sort of unheated. I would say an unheated conservatory or something like that. But just that little bit of winter protection is going to ensure that you get gorgeous displays for many years to come.
I mean, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
I've never grown the honeypot variety, but great for pollinators. Absolutely stunning flowers, and the flowers they call like the bottle brush plant. It is called a bottle brush plant because they are like bottle brushes, but they're really soft, aren't they?
Yeah, they're quite tactile.
Yeah.
You do want to touch them, and actually the foliage is quite interesting as well because if you get the foliage and you crush it, it releases like a lemon.
Citrus.
Yeah, it releases like a lemon.
Just check this is the same because there's different varieties. I'm sure it will.
Let's try it. I haven't tried it. I want to have
it. It is, but it's. No, I think it's slightly different.
Oh, that's almost eucalyptusy.
Yeah. It is different, isn't it?
That's lovely. It's nice,
isn't it?
Look at us.
I'd have that in a shower gel. Wouldn't you?
That's beautiful. Yeah, I like it a lot.
You're right. It's a bit. It's like a citrus eucalyptusy smell.
Yeah, very fresh.
I think the foliage is slightly small as well.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, maybe.
Do you think?
Well, it's a slightly more compact plant.
Yeah.
I wonder if the flowers are going to be as big as the other varieties.
Well, we'll find out next year.
They are quite incredible.
But,
plant it in a full sun position to get the best out of this. And of course, it's great if you keep it in a pot. It's nice and compact for you to keep it in a pot, but that allows you to be able to move it to give it that winter protection.
I'll be honest, I'm going to buy it, but I'm going to keep it in the greenhouse for the first winter.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Okay, this is one I love this one. I like Brunnera, I like Jack Frost. There is something so just unmistakably beautiful about this particular plant. I adore the heart-shaped leaves that you get on
they're
here.
Stunning.
The markings on them are incredible as well. But when you, I mean, when you get it with the flowers on it as well, that really does look so pretty. It's spring flowering, so it'd be great to get this in your garden right now, because then in April and May time, you'll get this flurry of those purple flowers that look excellent against those heart-shaped leaves.
And it's a really good one if you've got a shady spot as well.
Yeah, so this
really
wants to be in shade. It can be in dappled shade, partial shade, or full shade. So if you were to plant this alongside some of your ferns, maybe you're investing in the hairy lip double-up deal that we've got today, you could plant this near it and it would be amazing contrast.
Yeah. Do you know, I don't know why I haven't. I've got a shady border with all my ferns.
I know, I haven't got it yet. I keep looking at it and thinking I need to get one of those.
And especially the fact that it's flowers.
I know why I haven't got one. Because it's always been very expensive. So we've never brought it to you on YGTV, otherwise I would have bought it from YGTV previously. But when I've seen it in garden centres, I have thought, I want one of those, but it's always been too expensive.
And again, it's not going to look its best right now.
No, but it will.
Yeah, you imagine that in springtime and summer. But it will, if you've got that, that difficult shady area, it will love it there.
Yeah, it is deciduous, so it's going to drop its leaves,
yeah.
But it's perennial, it'll come
don't
back.
Panic.
It'll get a little bit bigger, it gets to about 45 centimetres height, somewhere between 1 and 2 feet, but it'll spread by a couple of feet as well. So all of those, I mean, frosted, glittery leaves. Just amazing.
Yeah. So as we say,
I saw Jack Frost when I was a kid. I always tell my kids about this. Genuinely, I have a memory. Obviously, kids.
Yeah.
But I have a memory of looking out the window when I was a kid in our first house that we lived. I was probably about 4 years of age, and it's one of my earliest memories. And I looked out the window and I saw little Jack Frost running from car to car, and he was going like this, and the frost was coming out of his hands, and he was frosting up the cars. It's like my earliest made-up memory. I saw Jack Frost.
I always wanted to.
Did you? I saw him. I saw him.
I wanted to. Me and my imaginary friends wanted to, but we never did. Anyway, if you want, if you want to go for Jack Frost, I mean, I think there are so many reasons to have that. I'd say it is not going to look its best now. It's dying down for the winter, but in spring and summer, that is going to look amazing.
I love it.
I do.
It's definitely on my list. I love it. Stu, have we got lots of stock of that one, or is that one that's at risk?
Do we need to go and place an order?
We might need to. Eleanor has sent us an interesting message.
Go on, Eleanor.
The bulbs I planted a couple of weeks ago are coming up.
Oh,
the weather is really weird this year.
It so is. I was
so glad I haven't planted my bulbs yet.
I was out in the garden yesterday. I was like looking around thinking, there's so many things that are not right.
I know.
Things that now think it's spring.
Yeah.
Things that it's like...
I did hear that there is a cold snap coming, so hopefully that's going to put everything back in its place.
It was misty this morning, but yeah, I was looking around thinking it's strange. So many things are looking good that shouldn't be looking good.
Yeah.
Anyway, plants adapt. They really do.
They do.
Yeah.
They find a way.
Right, we've got loads still to show you. What else is coming up? Let's have a look down here.
We've got the Perovskia. We've got the Physocarpus. Oh, we've got my mum's favourite. We've got some Heuchera coming up for you.
We've got, I tell you what, I think the Hibiscus, I've just seen the size of that. That is amazing at the price.
The grapevine. Really is. Have you seen the grapevine?
Yeah.
Look how big that is.
And we've got a beautiful Acer as well. There's loads to show.
The Trachycarpus.
But remember, it's clearance. Let's remind you of some of the favourites so far. Busy on the website and the phone lines. So the Erigeron, this is known as Mexican seabane. I know it's sea of blossom. It's a real survivor, this one. It survives in the poorest of soils. It is fully winter hardy. It is brilliant at ground cover. I mean, I've got mine in like a rocky area, and it is fantastic. And it flowers from kind of May time. In fact, mine is still flying now in November, and so is Bex's. 560640, 749. You're getting 3 9cm pots. Then we've got the Verbena bonariensis. I'm going to say right now, it's my favourite perennial. It really is. Absolutely love it. I tell everyone to get this in the garden. Likes a sunny spot. It even looks good in winter. If you leave the flower heads on in winter as they go over, because they'll self-seed, but they look really interesting. And it is a great plant to really complement other plants in your garden. We call it the transparent plant. You can always see through it. You've got these, it's really kind of wispy and leggy with these absolutely divine clusters of purple flowers. But look at that, I've still got the view. And that is an absolute must at 398. It's a really big plant, 560925. Now, we haven't seen this, but it is coming up, and it is the Foxglove Digitalis Dalmatian. Now, foxgloves, if you want that kind of country cottage garden, if you want the gardens to look really natural, foxgloves are amazing at that. And again, they quite often self-seed, and they do not mind a slightly shady area. If you think where foxgloves grow naturally, woodland kind of areas, so your part shade, absolutely perfect for foxgloves. 501-553. Then we've got our Phlox, brand new variety, the Paniculata collection. So stunning, stunning clusters of these flowers to create that lovely cone shape. Great for really mid to late summer flowering. So they start to flower kind of July when other things are maybe just dying down a bit and going into August and September. 3 beautiful varieties, just £8.99, 561-266. Now, brand new variety of lavender about to sell out. So it's called Sensational, just the same as your Hitcot in many ways. So it likes well-drained soil, sunny spots, will coat really well in poor soils, but it's a bit more upright. You can see that on the image right now. Really strong stems, and I think the flowers may be even bigger, but you've still got all the divine fragrance. You've still got those lovely, say, areas of flowers that will attract the pollinators. I mean, lavender is one of the best for your pollinators, I'm sure you know. And there are many uses for lavender. Once the flowers start going over, you can use them for things like potpourri. You can use them in gin. You can use them to deter moths. Moths don't like the smell of lavender, so there are many, many uses for the lavender as well. 561-245. Then, for me, the best item in the show, the best deal, is the Cordyline Lime Passion. It's a stunner. It's a big cordyline in a 17 litre pot. You are saving £13 today. Wow. So, I mean, basically, you could get 3 of these for the usual price of 1. I think we're going to have one of the busiest shows ever today. That cordyline, do you know what I'm going to do? Honestly, I'm thinking of buying maybe even 6 of them and doing some sort of like amazing display. So they are winter hardy, but if it's a particularly cold winter, just tie it up, protect the crown. They do form a tall stem, so eventually you will get like a palm shape, and cordylines do sometimes flower, of course, as well. And they're great for the foliage, but you can, on a mature plant, get flowers, of course, as well. 680-292 for the Cordyline Lime Passion. And then we've also got the Red Star. Now, this is it's another cordyline. You've got the great architecture, the great structure, but you've got the most burgundy, the most wonderful burgundy foliage on this one as well. And that is 680-291. Then we have got some really great deals on our ferns, and this is the Callistemon lanosa, the hairy lip fern. Ferns are brilliant for those shady areas. Now, they will tolerate some sun as well, but they're great for filling in the gaps, suppressing weeds. This one is compact, about 30 by 30 centimetres, and it is evergreen. Some ferns that we have will completely die down in winter. Some are kind of semi-evergreen, but this one is evergreen. So even if we get a cold winter, it should keep all of its foliage. 561-204. And then the Sambucus. Now, this is one of my favourite plants. And I've got several of these in my garden, because my garden was a new garden, and I didn't want to buy established plants, but I needed some fast-growing plants. Sambucus can be quite vigorous. I mean, in some years it can grow 1 metre or so in terms of height and width. And this variety is called Southern Gold. You've got some incredible gold colours on the foliage. Now, it will lose its leaves in winter. Do not worry. So it will lose all its leaves. When it arrives, it may have a few leaves still on them. In the springtime, I would cut it quite far back, so maybe to about 1 foot or so, just above some of the buds, and you'll be amazed how quickly that will establish and grow. You also get flowers and you get berries with Sambucus, of course, as well. 511-494. And then a brand new Callistemon. My word, this is stunning. It's called honeypot. So it's a bit more compact, but you've got yellow flowers. We're so used to seeing the red, aren't we, on the bottle bush plant? But this is the yellow. 511-556. Now, one of the things that we could not believe today, the prices are amazing, but you still get a free gift as well. And you can get...
Back all right there?
Yeah, so I had a bad back a few weeks ago, so it's so nice to be able to go, hey, there's your free gift. I felt I was rubbish this Sunday because I wasn't.
You weren't. You did very well.
I was in a lot of pain.
I know, it's hard.
I really sympathise with anyone that's got bad back, but I don't now. It's gone. Yeah. I was out in the garden yesterday doing all the big jobs again. But with every order today, as long as you use the code YGTV 4624, you will get your free gift. And I love this as a free gift. We both do, because you're going to use it. It's not something that you go, oh yeah, I don't need that, because this is an all-round general fertiliser that, I mean, I've used it on pretty much everything apart from a lawn, I would say.
Yeah.
Have you? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Houseplants.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I was more regular with it. But yeah, if you feed your plants regularly, particularly through spring and summer, on sometimes every 2 weeks, really, in the height of summer, you will see such an amazing difference because it's so specially formulated.
Some of my bedding plants in peak, I feed them twice a week.
Do you?
If I've got time.
Yeah.
But that will make 100 litres of premium plant food. And because you've got really high quantities of your NPK, it covers everything from your roots and your shoots and your flowers and your fruits. And you've got all your trace elements and minerals in there. But one spoonful in watering can is all you need. And if you won't feed your plants a lot during the winter, we get that. But just stockpile these.
Store it.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
I once had about 20 packets of these in my greenhouse. But if you want to get ahead of us, go on the website and put the code in. Do that first of all, because then you'll see the prices that you will actually pay. We are very, very busy today, just to let you know. Loads of orders going through early today, but some of the stocks are low.
They are, unfortunately. We know that the lavender, we only had 4 orders of that left. I'm sure that's going to go very soon. But we've got so many things on there. Make sure you enter that code, as Sean's just saying, so that you can see the deals and the prices. Get your orders in as soon as you can. Some we've got plenty of stock, so don't worry. But yes, some is going a little bit low. This is all before your club discount as well, by the way. So you put the code in, it'll give you the savings, but then you got to think, if you're a club member, you can take another 10% off everything that you're seeing. That Trachycarpus, I'm a big fan of that at the moment. It's looking absolutely amazing, and it's one of the most hardy that we've got.
It's a beautiful
The Hornbeam as well, by the way. That price is for a triple pack. That is 3 3-litre pots. So if you're looking to create some beautiful hedging, Hornbeam is a great option.
Do you know what? I put a hedge in our garden a few years ago. It's a beech hedge. And do you know what? It was really hard work, and we did it with bare roots. But each bare root was far more expensive than the Hornbeam.
Was it?
Yeah, honestly. And you'll see when we bring them out, they're massive. They really are. So you could, if you think about planting a hedge, stay watching. But
hang on, we've got a question from Grimmy, which is a really
morning,
good one.
Grimmy.
So Grimmy's saying, good morning all. Sean and Bex, could a lot of the plants today be left in their current pots for planting out in spring? There's lots I like today, but need time to think about where to put them.
Absolutely.
I think absolutely yes, to be honest with you. The majority are going to be absolutely fine. Obviously keep them watered.
I was just going to say that. Any of the bigger ones, the ones in like the 1 litre, 2 litre pots, 3 litre, absolutely. The ones in the 9 centimetre pots, as Bex has said, just keep an eye on the watering, because these smaller pots, they could dry. And I tell you what it is with, because I live in quite an exposed garden, and sometimes I will buy plants and I won't plant them up for even months, but it's always the 9 centimetre ones that sometimes dry out quickly. So that's it. But yeah, of course you can.
Absolutely. Yeah. To be honest, if we were keeping them at the nursery, they would be being kept in those pots until springtime, where we'd probably pot them into something larger and sell them for more money.
But a lot of the plants are in the process of going dormant right now, so that's great. So yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Great question.
Good question. Right, let's take you on to a bare root tree, shall we? And this is a really popular one. It is only £6.29 if you are in the club, and you will be buying a sweet cherry Stella bare root tree. Look at the size of it. It's multi-branched, it's gorgeous, and super easy. Perfect time to be planting bare roots right now. Just get yourself some compost, get yourself one of our heavy duty pots, pot that up. It'll take you 10 minutes to do, and then within a few years you will start producing your own cherries. And this is a prolific cherry producer once it gets going.
And the Stella cherry has got to be the most popular cherry in the UK.
It's sweet and it's gorgeous. I love cherries.
I tell you what, I'm going to buy some of these, and I don't know where they're going to go, but I'm just going to put them in heavy-duty pots.
Stick them in a heavy-duty pot, it'll be fine. Yours will come wrapped, by the way, so all you need to do is just unwrap that, and then we can show that we've unwrapped it so you can see what the bare root looks like. We're not selling you a twig, I promise you. It is alive, it's just dormant. It's been kept in cold storage, so it's fast asleep.
And if you're not sure, you know when it arrives, and I know a lot of you trust YouGarden because we've been sending plants through the post for 2 decades now, 20 years, but you can always do the scratch test.
Yeah, just give it a little scratch.
Yeah, and you'll see it's green.
And get my nail in.
What's your nails? You just had them done, Bex.
I just did them, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, nice and green underneath, so
There
you
you
know
go.
that there is life inside.
It's just been dormant. It's been our cold store.
So all you've got to do is soak it. I would definitely suggest overnight when it comes to your cherry tree. Stick it in a bucket of water, give it a good drink overnight, and then you're ready to plant it out. Water it in. You'll get that sweet, lovely cherry blossom in springtime. It'll invite pollinators into your garden, and you could be picking your own bunches of cherries. It'll take a couple of years to get established. I don't think you'll get cherries first year. You might get a few second year.
Yeah, you might get a handful.
But from 3rd year onwards, oh my word! And you'll have this in your garden, on your patio, on your balcony even. I mean, it's going to get to... It's still short because it's grafted, so it's still only going to get to about 2.5, maybe 3 metres in height, totally.
Yeah, be able to pick all the cherries.
You should be able to pick... Cherry trees normally get really, really tall. That's where the term cherry picker comes from, because they have to go up on machinery to get the cherries. This will stay nice and short.
But it does need a lovely sunny spot.
It does.
Yeah, pretty much all fruit trees.
And you might want to protect those cherries from the birds. If you want to let the birds have them, it's a lovely treat for the birds, but they do like cherries.
That is such a good deal, isn't it? I was just thinking, you'd pay $6.99 for a punnet of cherries. Easily.
Easily, yeah.
You would do. You know, maybe not on the market, but a supermarket would.
Definitely.
So the value, the amount of cherries you're going to get, kilos and kilos, over many, many years, you are going to save a fortune.
And that's an award winner as well, by the way. Award of Garden Merit, and RHS gave it their badge of perfect for pollinators. Of course it is. You're going to get that lovely cherry blossom.
A couple of big wins there, then.
Big wins.
Now, I have to say I've got a few favourites, and the hibiscus sugar tip is one of them today.
It's a nice one, this one.
Say that again?
It's a nice one, this one.
It's lovely.
I like it. There's a few interesting bits about this particular hibiscus, because you've got sort of double ruffled blooms on there.
And then look at that.
But also the foliage that you get is variegated. Yeah.
That's quite rare.
It is. You don't get that with hibiscus. So there's a couple of beautiful things.
Yeah. I mean, I've got hibiscus, Bex has, my mum has, but double flowers and variegated foliage makes this extra special. Yeah. And what I love about hibiscus, they are one of the latest to flower in the summer. So it's late summers. Other things are really looking a bit past the best. The hibiscus steal the show. Yeah,
and there's so many flowers that you get. Yeah. The individual flowers don't last long, but you get so many of them that doesn't matter. And it flowers right in the height of summer, sort of July, August, September, and into October. So one of those transitional plants that we often talk about.
But that has to be one of the best buys. For me, I'm making a list now, the best buys. Definitely the Cordyline, the Lime Passion, Verbena bonariensis, the Erigeron, and the Hibiscus has got to be on there. And actually the cherry tree.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
There's more.
I was going to say, now we look.
There's more.
So we're looking at
I've already got the blueberries, which are coming up soon.
So a lot of you putting in big orders. Remember, if you spend over £40, then you will get free delivery. And you're going to get your free gift with every separate order. So you might want to play around your baskets. You might want to do, say if you're putting together a big order, it's like over £80, you might want to do 2 separate orders of 40 just to get 2 free gifts.
Totally.
That hibiscus is sensational, isn't it?
It's a good size.
And we should say there are lots of different varieties of hibiscus. You'll see them when you're abroad. But this particular variety is fully winter hardy.
Yes.
So don't think, because I did buy some... I can't remember the name of the variety, but it was a tender one, and I did lose it in the winter. Yeah. Not with that one at all. So fully winter hardy, and I want to see the foliage on that, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
It's nice.
You know how we love anything that's got variegation on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
£9.99, £8.99 if you're our club member. And everyone's loving your cherry tree, the Stella, the nation's favourite cherry. It's sweet, it's delicious. It's a bare root, but it is multi-branched. It's never going to go too big, so we said about 2.5 metres, and it is $6.99. And because the ground is really warm at the moment, it is a brilliant time to plant bare roots. I mean, bare roots can be planted throughout the winter, but obviously if the ground is frozen, if it's waterlogged, it's not going to be right. It's a great month, November, right now, because we're getting, lovely temperatures. So get in your garden, get that planted, or grow it in one of our heavy-duty pots. It'd be perfect.
Quick question from Dave about the Sambucus. He's asking, do they lose their leaves?
Yes,
they do. They are deciduous, but they
I'll go get it, John.
Spring back into life in springtime, and they do get covered in these beautiful... Yeah, it's on email, Stu, yeah.
And Dave, when it arrives, and look, Craig picks the plants for us from the nursery, so he's picked pretty much exactly what you're going to get. So I'll be honest, you look at this, and it looks a bit, what I'd say, leggy. You've still got some leaves at the top. It will lose those. Yeah.
But you can see the shoots coming.
Yeah.
Here, look. So this is where the fresh shoots are going to come from in springtime. But once this gets covered in those leaves, you get sort of... we describe it as an ethereal glow you get to this, because it's got lovely greens and yellow tones, and it's a perfect one.
And if yours arrives and it's this kind of shape, Dave, I would, in springtime...
Chop it back.
Yeah.
You could even go back to these ones here.
I'd go there or there.
Just above where those new shoots are, just trim it back there. It'll send those new shoots out. And actually, it's a really good practice to do that with your Sambucus in its early few years, because it creates a more bushy plant.
And Stu, have you got any chance? Because there's some footage of... I've got the black one of this, the black lace in my garden. I don't suppose you've got any footage of it. If not, I'll find a picture. Only because... Hey, that's Stu!
That's so cool.
They can hear me as well.
They can hear you as well?
Yeah. How cool is that? So
well
that's Stu in his high-tech gallery. It's pretty high-tech, actually.
Love that.
Only because I planted this kind of size less than 4 years ago, and now you'll see mine must be this year 3 metres.
Yeah.
So they are really fast growing. They really are, and beautiful. But the Sutherland gold, the foliage is just wonderful. But it's a really good one, Dave. But when you get it home, it's not going to look its best at this time of year. It doesn't matter. You've got him. Hang on, should I just have a look at the roots? Did you look at the roots?
I didn't. I don't think. It's all about getting hold of the bargains now, though. That's what this is
all
about at the moment.
Look at that.
Nice and rooty. So it's definitely raring to grow.
And the price you pay, we have sold these in 9cm pots, and that's the sort of price you pay normally for a 9cm pot one. But yeah, Dave, great question.
Lovely. Shall we move on? Let's go on to our Perovskia.
Oh, great.
He's found the clip. Hold on.
So, Dave, the variety you're about to see, it's the one I've got. I've got both in my garden, but we've only got footage of the black lace. But it's the same plant. But there you go.
And that's the kind of growth you will get from the Sutherland Gold as well.
Yeah. But if you think, oh, that's too big, they're so easy to prune as well.
Yeah, you can hard prune these, and they will grow back. Yeah. That's beautiful ones, Sean.
But it was that size 3 to 4 years ago.
That's an amazing.
I mean, we've only lived in that house 4 years, so I know.
That's done really well.
I know. It's my green fingers, babe.
Yeah, clearly. I'm not questioning that at all.
No, it's not. It's just, it's a Sambucus. They're really easy to grow.
Yeah.
Right.
Are we not doing Perovskia? Oh, sorry, Stu.
We'll come back to that.
He says we're taking too long.
Sorry. By the way, look, clearance, get your baskets checked out. We are mega busy today. So, Digitalis.
No, we're doing Perovskia.
Are we?
Yes, we're doing it. He's put the details up, look.
All right, go on.
We can have it.
I'll shut up for a minute, go on. I'm too talky today. I'm going back.
Perovskia, an award-winning plant, Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, perfect for pollinators badge from them as well. And this is an excellent choice if you don't like lavender. I mean, it's an excellent choice if you do like lavender as well, but I'm just saying, if you don't like the scent of lavender, this one is a really good option because it grows in a similar way. It's got those lovely spikes of flowers that come out. It grows in the same conditions. It doesn't mind poor soil. It'll be happy in a gravel garden. It's really happy in coastal locations as well because it can cope with salty air and drying breezes. So yeah, it's a perfect one if you hate that scent of lavender. The foliage on this has a sage scent to it as well.
Well, it's often called Russian sage, this one, and yes, I mean that is very.
Oh yeah, that's a nice.
Yeah.
One. Like
very different from lavender.
So it's really good if it's lining a pathway and you're brushing along it because you'll get that sort of sage scent coming up. Perfect for pollinators; they adore it.
I must admit, although I love lavender, mine has got a bit leggy, and I just think I might pull it up and go for a change. And that's got so many of the same benefits. So still, the pollinators love it. Evergreen, same position as you're saying, Beck. So sunshine, poor soils, it's going to be fine in.
It'd get a little bit taller as well, actually, than lavender.
Yeah, so that. I like the sound of it. I really do. I love the smell of it. So you get 3 of those at $8.99, 560 949. Right, can we do Digitalis now?
Let's do Digitalis now.
Because these are... See, I smile when I see Digitalis because my mum lives in a cottage called Foxglove Cottage. And it's a little... I say a little cottage. It's a really old cottage. built in the 1600s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really old, just like my mum. And sorry, Mum, if you're watching.
Morning, Carol.
Morning, Mum. But the foxgloves, she's got a really country cottage garden, and the foxgloves look magnificent there. They really do. They give you that height. They love kind of a like slightly shady spot back of the border. But for me, a foxglove is the quintessential country cottage plant, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. Absolutely perfect
It's
for
so
that
easy
country
to
cottage
grow.
feel. Very easy. If you cut the flowers if you cut it down after it's finished flowering, you may get a second flush of flowers that come as well. So it's a really good one for adding that height and dimension into your borders. And I love the fact that it doesn't need to be in a full sun position.
No.
You would expect it to need it. A lot of our summer flowering plants need that, but this one doesn't. So it's a perfect one for that back of the border.
And it's called Dalmatian because in every one of those flowers, look at the little, you can see the little spots and speckles.
Yeah.
Like Dalmatian.
Perfect.
That's, and that again, $3.99.
Yeah, it's in that 2 litre pot, so
Yeah,
it's a really well established
because actually,
one.
if you buy smaller foxglove, quite often in the first year, it won't grow very tall, and you get quite small flowers. But this is already well established, so you should get some really great height next year when that flowers. And you are good. I mean, look, I'm not being funny. You're getting it for a third of the price. But Stu's just saying, go on, you say it, Stu. Go on. Go on, let's see you again. What do our lovely viewers need to do, Stu?
They need to use the code and they need to use the club membership.
Yay!
I love that.
I love that.
Feature now.
I like that extra feature, seen Stu. Oh, do you not get that all the time?
No, apparently not. Apparently you're doing something different on TikTok this afternoon.
We are. Do you remember we talked about it? Like,
I don't remember.
Oh,
You'll have to
Bex.
tell me later.
We talked about it. I asked
remember.
you. But you have one of those foggy moments.
I'm clearly having a foggy moment.
Sunday afternoon, we were loading up the trolley with the houseplants.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you think? Can we do TikTok on studio cameras? Do you remember that?
Ah, okay, so you're trying it this afternoon?
Yes. Do you remember?
Ah.
Do you remember?
Vaguely, yeah. No, I do remember. Look, I have
We like an old married couple, right? It's
I have a menopausal brain. It's forgetful sometimes.
It's all right.
I remember stuff about plants, but not conversations I've had 2 days ago.
No. I don't have a menopausal brain, but I still forget. I still forget stuff. But anyway, so yeah, that's why. But I'd say, okay.
Oh, that sounds exciting. I'll tune in.
Stu's the technical one here, you see. He's the clever one, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I know. The worrying thing about Stu is, though, right, he's like good at everything. So actually, his plant knowledge now is getting actually really good, isn't it? I know.
We used to know more.
So what we're thinking, a bit like artificial intelligence kicking in now, we think there'll come a time where Bex and I are not here and it's just Stu
You'll just do it all.
doing everything, yeah. Yeah.
That is dangerous.
I should not.
That.
Shut
Shut
up.
up.
I was going to say,
Shut up.
why did I even say that, Bex?
Stop. Let's move on.
Anyway.
Heuchera! Mum, if you're watching, Sheila! Are you watching? Because I know how much you love Heuchera. This is genuinely one of her favourite plants in the garden.
And why does she love it?
I think it's because you can get various different varieties. So there's a lovely colour range that you get from it, but it's low maintenance, easy to grow, and kind of keeps its colour all year round.
Yeah. And actually,
bless her, she's still very fit and healthy. She thinks she's older than she is, but she's still very fit and healthy. She still gets out in the garden and does stuff. And it's a big garden. She has got a really big garden. So she does need lots of things that are lower maintenance. It's got to the stage where she is starting to put more low maintenance plants in. And Heuchera is one of those. She doesn't have to worry about it. She doesn't have to tend to it all the time. And it just looks amazing. This particular one, the Silver Scrolls, it's a bit like the Jack Frost, isn't it? You've got the really dark foliage, but then this dusting of this silver colour. But I really like it when you get the flowers that appear on here. You get these lovely tall sort of pink coloured flowers on this one that just rise up above that foliage, and it really highlights it and it looks really pretty.
And they actually, especially in the winter time, I think they're really useful in pots and containers. Yeah, because you do get the foliage all the way through the winter, and you imagine that maybe in the centre of a container with some lovely winter pansies around it. Imagine some of your tete-a-tete bulbs coming up.
Yeah.
In a pot and container with those in as well. They are lovely.
And they're quite versatile as well, because you can put them in a sunny position and they can cope in a part shady position. I would definitely put them somewhere a little bit sheltered. This one, I say year-round interest. Yeah, it can be. It is a semi-evergreen, so if you put it really cold or really exposed, you might lose some of the leaves there. But it does work in so many locations.
Just something that I've learned from my my own garden, I've got this in a few different places, and I have got some in like semi-shade. It does really well, but I've also got some under the eucalyptus, which is also semi-shade, but it's a little bit too dry for it.
Right.
And I've noticed it likes kind of a slightly moist, well-drained soil. And it survives under the eucalyptus, but it goes a little bit floppy at times in the summer. But it's a great one. Great plant. Very easy. What's up, Bex?
I was just thinking, because we're coming on to the blueberry collection, and I did a little video specifically to show you on this, because the blaze of colour that you get from...
Have you got it with you?
Oh, it's in my phone. I'll get it later.
Oh!
The blaze of colour that you get from blueberry plants at this time of year.
We forget that, don't we?
It is. I mean, obviously, this is about creating your own blueberries, but honestly, the colours the leaves turn before they drop on this, it's one of the most amazing colour ranges that you get. They are so nice.
And Ellen has just put on the group chat that her pink lemonade, which is a blueberry, by the way, said the golden leaves look quite spectacular.
Yeah.
So this is a really great collection because you've got 3 varieties that will give you a longer season of blueberries. So you've got an early, a mid, and you've got a late.
Yeah, that's why I went for this collection, because my husband particularly is a big fan of blueberries.
Well, he's a health freak, isn't he?
He loves blueberries. He loves doing a smoothie. And so I decided to get a collection of blueberries because I can grow them for him. What a nice wife I am. But this collection...
That's a great...
It is lovely, isn't it? This collection gives you a longer cropping season because one's an early cropper, one's a mid cropper, one's a late cropper. So I'm just really extending that season of being able to pick those blueberries. Of course, they freeze brilliantly as well. So once these get going and once they get really productive, first year you'll get a few, second year you'll get a bit more, third year onwards, you're going to start getting bumper crops of fruit from here. But you can then freeze them, which means even in the winter time, you can go and get your blueberries, handful of blueberries, put them in your smoothie, put them on your, your breakfast, or make some pancakes, whatever it is you want to do. What?
No, I'm just thinking. Sorry, it's just a. You sort of heard me because I'm thinking, do you really get the 3 planters as well?
Yeah.
And you do.
Yeah, you do. So you're going to get the Torino planters. Now, they're not going to live in here forever. I will point that out. If you want to pot them in this and keep them in here over the winter and then pot them into something else, because they get some really decent growth on them. They can get to sort of a metre and a half in height. So this could be a temporary home for them, or just use these pots for something else. They're in the price. They're in the deal.
I'd probably, if you've got any bulbs lying around.
Yeah, stick some bulbs in.
Yeah. Some of the the free packs we had a few weeks ago that had the Muscari and the Crocus and the Narcissa, they'd be great in there.
Yeah.
But one thing we forgot to mention, you do need ericaceous compost. So these are acid-loving plants. They will not do well in regular compost. Don't even try it. They won't like it at all. So they do need an acid soil. If you haven't got any, natural acid soil in your garden, just buy some ericaceous compost. It is on our website.
So mine are planted in the heavy-duty pots.
And if you just put 1 in each?
1 in each, absolutely. We've got a triple pack available right now, so it's the perfect combination to go with this particular item. Get yourself some ericaceous compost and plant them into those heavy-duty pots. Mine are going to live in there forever, which also means when I move house, my blueberries are coming with me.
By the way, if you're trying to get your order to over £40 and you're not there, just buy some heavy duty pots.
Yeah,
because you saw that. We use them every single time we garden. You're great for weeding, great for when you're moving things around, great for storing plants in, obviously great for growing plants in, but they're one of the best items that I've ever found, and Bex would echo that completely.
Totally.
And you can get all 3 there as well. But we better move on.
We better head. Yeah, we've got a rose for you.
Hey, I'm rather excited about this one right here.
This is the Well-Being Rose.
It's beautiful.
It's a gorgeous one. It's from Harkness, so it has incredible pedigree. Harkness have obviously been going for over 180 years. Won
1879, I think it was, actually.
There you go. How many is it? 25 gold medals?
25 gold medals.
At Chelsea.
I mean, that's pretty good, isn't it?
I mean, that'll do,
yeah.
Isn't it? I understand the pedigree and the breeding that's gone into these. Now, this one gives you exceptionally large flowers, but it's also very petalicious. It forms in rings, becoming tighter towards the centre. You've got a lovely soft pink outer and that golden amber yellow in the centre. And this one actually has a really strong rose fragrance, so it's a strong citrus rose fragrance.
Now, let's be honest. At $13.49, a bare root would be great, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
We had bare roots on recently, and they were around about £13-14 for a bare root.
Yeah.
This is potted
Potted.
in a 3 litre pot. Really well established. So you can get loads of flowers next year. And as Beck said, bred by Harkness, multi-award winning, so it's disease resistant, it's repeat flowering, it's an absolute winner. And it is a beauty, isn't it?
It's a beautiful one, yeah. I love a yellow rose. Love it.
Yeah, you particularly like yellow roses, don't you?
It's only because Arthur Bell was my first one, and I do love that. But yellow roses are gorgeous, and this with the extra, the so petalicious and the extra touch with the soft pink around the edge. That's really pretty.
Ooh. Right, we are getting really busy, by the way. So, if you have just joined us...
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. You've joined us at a good time.
We're in clearance.
Do you think we're going to have the busiest show ever today, Stu?
It's sounding like it might be. So not if we don't go quicker. He's whipping us today. He's whipping us around the potting shed. Let's do it.
Stu, just show our viewers what you say to us in our ear. What do you say to us? Go on. That's what we listen to.
Got some buttons to do.
Go on.
Then get moved on. Can you please go to the next one?
Oh, no, you don't say that. You do not say like that.
If you could wrap this one up, that
is so wrong. He doesn't say that at all.
I think they'll be very interested in the next product.
Like, Stu does not speak to us like that. It's like,
move on.
Go on, guys,
You're taking too long.
Stop waffling.
I've changed the details. You're taking ages.
Yeah.
As if I would, he says. Anyway.
Stu is lovely, jokes, but he is lovely, he is. Right, we have got our sweet cherry Stella, $6.29 for club members, $6.99 if you're not. Bare roots, all you need to do, unwrap it when it arrives, put it in a bucket of water overnight, give it a really good drink, and then pot it on. And again, the heavy-duty pots would be perfect.
Yeah, because this isn't going to get too tall, so it's been grafted onto the mini rootstock. That's the grafting point there. Make sure that's above the soil surface when you plant it, but it's never going to get too tall. We're talking maybe 2.5, ultimate height maybe 3 metres, but it hopefully means that you'll always be able to pick those fruits without having to hire yourself a cherry picker.
And Bex, you've got a little video come out, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I did a video the other day, yes. So just easy, I think it's out already or it's coming out, but on Instagram and Facebook about how to plant them. If you can plant a potted thing, if you can plant something that's potted, it's super easy. The only extra step is to soak it before you plant it.
Yeah, but it's a really affordable way of buying trees. I'm not being funny. If you bought that in a pot in the height of season, you could be spending £35, £40. Right, another...
See what he does? He moves the camera to make us move.
Right, herding us. I tell you what... Elaine's favourite is back today as well. The bark mulch is back on offer, $14.99 or $13.50 if you are a club member. And I've used this in the pub garden on some of the containers, and it looks great. Really looks good, really smarten things up.
Neatens it all up, helps to suppress weeds, but also it's going to give a duvet of protection for anything that does need it over the winter months. So if you've got things that are frost tender, that adds just that extra layer on top, which is where the frost really appears, and then it'll give it that extra protection. But it does really highlight it, doesn't it?
I mean,
these two
containers just, I couldn't grow anything amongst the euonymus. Things were struggling. So I've just thought, right, let's just smart it all up and give it some, just a bit of a makeover, but also it just makes it low maintenance.
Yeah.
So no more weeds, no more horrible looking compost, and I think the plants in there suddenly look a bit more highlighted as well. Do you want to repeat what Stu said? These are the bits you don't hear.
But also covering up all the fag ends that people have put in there.
That is so true. So I look after our pub garden, and I must admit, I love the fact that customers come and order food and drink, but the smokers, they
put it in the ashtrays, not
and we do have ashtrays.
Plant pots.
Do you know what we have? We have lovely little terracotta pots on the tables that we use as ashtrays.
And they still put them in the plant pots.
Yeah. Do you know what I found in there? Do you know what I found in there yesterday? 2 old sparklers from Bonfire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, shoved in the... So terrible. Anyway, but we still love our customers.
Verbena bonariensis, this is one of the top sellers for today, and I'm not surprised. Look at it, it's £3.99 and it comes in a 17cm pot. I genuinely would be expecting to pay $3.99 for a 9cm, but no, this one is enormous, totally raring to grow. I took this out of the pot earlier. Do you want to check it out? Look at the size of these roots. I mean, Adam would be having a fit right now because he loves a rooty beauty, doesn't he? But this is Sean's garden, and this is how beautiful Verbena bonariensis can look, because it's tall, it's willowy, the pollinators adore it, it lasts for ages. Like, mine started flowering probably May time.
Yeah, end of May. I did,
about end of May.
And I've still got flowers now, have you?
May, June, July, August, September, October, and mine is still looking fantastic in November this year as well.
So I've totally lost concentration.
Oh,
Sorry. Look.
YouGarden Castle's out for delivery. Ah!
Look, my order's...
Is it telling you how many stops?
Well, I can't... Look at that! Yay! I am excited.
What have you ordered? Does it tell you?
I'll tell you what I ordered.
It's exciting.
Well, I ordered loads more bulbs, actually.
Did you?
Yeah. I did. I ordered loads of bulbs. What else is on my compost, obviously?
Obviously.
But it was mostly bulbs, because I didn't think I'd planted enough.
You're right.
Yeah.
We always do that, don't we?
Do you know what I did? I ordered, because Bex had, not that we're competitive, but Bex had the best tulip display last year, and I didn't grow many tulips. So I've ordered loads of the parrots, but like loads. So I'm going to just do loads of
tulips, loads of them.
But all the same thing.
Lovely.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's not too late to plant bulbs, by the way. You can still add those to your order.
Still under mine.
Sorry, I got distracted there. There's nothing better than knowing your order's on its way, is there?
Yeah.
Because I'm not working tomorrow, so I can do loads of planting, and it's going to be sunny. Just jokes apart, though, we are busy. It is a clearance show. We're live until 1 o'clock. Some items will sell out.
Yeah.
Some will not be back in stock until next spring. And genuinely, these are the best prices that we've seen on so many of the plants today. You'll get your free gift. You do need to use that code YGTV4624. That unlocks all of the different promotions. And most people, apart from one customer today, have spent over £40 and got that free delivery. But you'll get a bag of Blooming Fast, which will make 100 litres of our premium plant food. That is free with every single order. And I'll be honest, I didn't think we'd have a freebie today with it being a clearance show.
Yeah,
did you?
I know, but we're still giving you £5 worth of free gift, and it's an excellent free gift. This is the one. This is the one that we love getting the most, to be perfectly honest.
It's brilliant. And to say, you can just store those. You don't need to use them all this year. You can use them, say, next year. Of course you can. I think there's not... Is it a sell-by date on? Not a sell-by date, a use-by date. But I'd say that's 2026, I would say.
I can't see
well,
one.
It's to be fine after that, I'm sure, but probably most effective in the next couple of years.
Can't see one. It's got a batch code, but it hasn't.
Anyway, look,
it's fine.
It's not like, you can't use that in a couple of years' time, it would still be fine. But you'll use it, I reckon, next year. Right, sorry, I'll slow down again.
Another really popular one today is the hairy lip fern, and I'm not surprised we've got a double-up deal where you can get two in those 2-litre pots for £9.99. If you just want to go for one, fine, it's $5.99, $5.39 in the club, but I would definitely think about doubling up, because that's where you're going to get the best value. Yeah. And these are nice and compact. They only get to about 1 foot by 1 foot, so getting multiples of this will be perfect. Plant them at the front of the border if you're doing a whole display with various different ferns. These ones want to go at the front because they're the compact ones. And these are the evergreen ones as well.
And I like that, because I've got a few that are not evergreen. And you like the Painted Lady, but she dies away in the winter. And there are many reasons to choose ferns. I mean, we love our hostas, but ferns are great when it comes to slugs. Slugs don't eat away at them, they don't like them. They also are really quite disease resistant. I've never had problems with ferns.
Agree, yeah.
Never. You think about it, they've been on the planet millions of years. They're one of the oldest plants to survive. They've evolved, they're super easy to grow. And what I really like is to plant them at the base of other shrubs in my garden, because they'll survive in the in shade, quite deep shade, but they'll also suppress weeds. So they are brilliant at putting amongst other plants in your borders and covering the ground, suppressing weeds, and giving you that all year round foliage. They are amazing things.
Yeah, and this one will actually cope with a bit of sun as well. So some don't like it, and some definitely want to be in shade, but this one can actually cope with a more sunny position. So this one is a true problem solver. If you've got shady corners or you want to plant it in a little bit more sun, it is versatile. You can do that.
And if you are looking for some low maintenance plants, it doesn't get more low maintenance really than that. Right, another really popular plant today is the Erigeron, known as Mexican fleabane. Sea blossom is another term for it. But these are all about ground cover, and they will survive on the measliest of nutrients. Like, I've seen these growing out of steps, out of walls, out of gravel. So they'll survive in really poor soils. They're just like a nice bit of sunshine. Look at the roots on there, Bex.
Such a healthy plant, raring to grow, rooty beauty, and you're going to get months and months and months and months and months worth of colour from this.
Did you say months?
I did say months. From about April, this really, I mean, depending, but yes, roughly around April time. And mine are still looking amazing, even now in November. They do not look like they're giving up any time soon. So we are talking such a long time. You get colour-changing flowers in there as well. They start out white and they age to that lovely pink. So you get this constant wave of colour happening. They play nicely in borders. Mine mixes perfectly with my geranium Roseanne, but they're great for gap filling. Also great for suppressing weeds. If there's a gap, a weed will grow. So plant it with something that's low maintenance, easy to grow, and will give you months of colour.
And I had a border that I did not know what to do with because it was just had the worst soil in there. It still had rubble from the builders, and I've just covered it in the Erigeron, and it looks fantastic. It looks great now. They're still flying now. They really are. And all you need to do, and this is a professional term, when we start to get the first frost, they'll go black and die down a bit. Hack them down. That's what I do.
Just chop them back.
Yeah, right down.
They come back.
Yeah, even to ground level.
Easily.
They're amazing plants. And although the flowers, if you look at an individual flower, you won't go like, wow, it's the numbers of them that make them exquisite. Right, better move on because...
Sempervivum.
Yeah, this is on my list.
Yeah, I like this one. I mean, the thing is, I love all the Sempervivums, to be honest with you, and they are a real collectible, because once you start, you want to get all of them. And there's, you know, 40, 50 different types that you can get here. But the colours on that particular plant right now are just incredible. There's burgundies and reds and yellows and greens included in there. And there's so many of them. You've got the central one, which is the big one, but it's created all of those babies. This is why it's called a chick charm, because it readily produces loads of little chicks.
I'm going to do this
that
again.
You can then pull out of there, as long as it comes away with some roots.
There you go, look.
You can pot it up.
Look.
And you've got another plant.
And it, honestly... I've taken two out now. Look, I've got the. So if you missed earlier, look, we've already potted one up there, and there's another one. But I've got a whole little collection of these in little pots that I have on my steps, and they look lovely. And we forgot to mention earlier, they do flower.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
So in the summertime, you get like tall stems with little pinky flowers on as well.
Yes, you absolutely do.
They are adorable, and I think the only way to kill one of these is to have it drenched in water.
Very true, yeah. Well, the word Sempervivum is, it's Latin, isn't it, for always alive, which really tells you about how easy these are, because as long as you don't drench them in water, like Sean said, they're just so vigorous. They will happily grow. They'll constantly produce these babies. Once you've got one, you've always got one.
Yeah, and you're going to have more, you know. I mean, God, these are fertile things. They do just churn out those children, don't they?
They do.
They're brilliant. But they do look... I really like to put them in pots with gravel around them. I think that they like it, but it really brings out the colour if you've got some nice gravel or
This is where I probably use terracotta, in actual fact. Now, we're a big fan of plastic pots because, you know, they actually help to retain the moisture. But terracotta, because it's porous, it actually leaches the moisture out of the soil. So things like aloe veras, your succulents, and things like Sempervivums, they probably really do appreciate being in terracotta.
I will find I've got some pictures of mine in terracotta on the little steps. But mine look a bit dull compared to this because this has golden colours, it has reds and burgundies, greens, and it changes colour throughout the seasons. Beautiful, aren't they?
Love
and
them.
fully winter hardy. Love them. Because you might think, oh, it's looks like, you know, like something that needs protection in the winter. It doesn't. They're amazing. Amazing. Right.
Really
are your ears okay?
Amazing.
They are, then. It's $3.99. Right, we're going to move on to the Sambucus Sutherland Gold now. And I'm a big fan of Sambucus because it's an easy plant to grow, but it grows quickly. Yeah. So if you're somebody that needs a space filling in the next couple of years, this would do it.
Or a face filling. Yeah, no, it would. It grows.
I'm always filling my face.
It grows really, really quickly, which is brilliant if you do want to fill those gaps and corners in your borders and things. It has the most wonderful colour to it as well. It's not just green, is it?
No.
It's a lime and a yellow and a golden that comes from this. And in a sunny spot, it's going to look beautiful. But even on a dark day, because of the colours of the foliage that come through, it really does highlight the border. And
you do get flowers, you do get berries. When this arrives, because that's what it looks like right now.
You do get flowers and berries, don't you? Forgot about that.
No, you didn't. You said it earlier.
Did I?
Yeah.
Shut up.
I'm sure you said it earlier.
Probably.
One of us did.
Probably.
But when it arrives, this is what they look like right now. They don't look the best at this time of year. It may even arrive without any leaves because they lose the leaves in the winter, absolutely fine. But as we said, in springtime, cut them well back.
Yeah, and you can see there's buds here, look, just down the base slightly. You can see there's buds where that new growth is going to come from. So what you'll do is trim this down to just above where that growth is, or even down to the next one. You could even go that far. And I really do recommend it. I recommend hard pruning in the first couple of years because it will encourage more bushy growth. You'll get a better plant in future.
And the clusters of flowers are really nice. You get loads, hundreds, all clustered together. And so then when they form the sort of like black-coloured berries, they're fantastic.
Is it related to Kiefer Sutherland, is a question?
No.
No. Not Donald either.
But it is part of the elderflower family. There you go. Right, we're going to just work out how much you're going to save today. I think this is going to be big.
Oh, you can make so many savings today. Okay, we're gonna guess how much this goes down to. So, Stella cherry, we've got a Sambucus, Erigeron, Verbena, two hairy lips, and a Cordyline. Current order total 81.41. Okay,
Hey, hang on. Do you know what I'm confused about there, Stu? Why is the delivery $8.99?
Sometimes the berries.
Anyway, we don't want to pay that, do we?
We don't want to pay that.
I mean, it's good.
I think that's going to come down to below £40, unfortunately.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Well, fortunately.
Do you honestly think that'll come down to?
Yeah, I think it's going to be way better than half price. I'm going £26.
Oh no!
What do you reckon at home?
Actually, no. I think you're right. About £25, £26.
All right, we're guessing something similar. Let's see. What's it going to go down to? 42.44.
Oh, hang on! I didn't see all this on there as well. I didn't see the Cordyline.
Oh, look! Hang on a minute.
Yeah, I didn't look at the whole thing.
Oh, £86 saving, first of all.
Yeah, sorry.
Stu said we're not doing this again.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stu. We did, yeah. Anyway, look at all we're getting. And you get your free gift. And you get free postage as well. So if you get your order to over £40, you get free postage. We're having too much fun, Bex. That is not allowed. But you know what? Jokes apart.
Stu's mad.
We have got today just so many huge savings, and it is a clearance show. Bex has totally lost the plot now. But we would love to hear from you. There's our Stu. Oh, I feel like a naughty school child, don't you? Do you know what we need? We need our lovely viewers to send us some nice comments, like, love the fun that Sean and Bex are having. Love the prices. We all love those, don't we? But let's remind you of some of the deals we've had so far.
Sambucus.
So Sambucus Sutherland Gold, $6.99. It's already well established in a 3-litre pot. And here it is on the nursery. Hello there. The Sambucus Sutherland Gold. And I mean, it just looks magnificent right now on the nursery. I've got Sambucus in my garden. I chose them because they're relatively quick to grow. They're very easy, actually. And this one does have the RHS Award of Garden Merit as well. Now, it reminds me a little bit of an Acer, and it's nothing to do with the Acer family. In fact, it's part of the elderflower family. But because of the serrated foliage, I don't know, it just always reminds me a little bit of Acers. But nothing like them. This is something that will do very nicely in a part shady position. Doesn't mind a little bit of wind, anything like that. It is fully winter hard. It's about -10. And on top of the gorgeous foliage that you'll get with the Sambucus, you also get little flowers. You get berries as well. It loses its leaves in the winter, but as I say, winter hard, it's -10, and then it comes back every year. And it is really quite fast growing. And this at full height can be up to about 4 metres as well. So yeah, an absolutely gorgeous plant. Arrives in that big 3-litre pot and will give you wonderful foliage throughout the summer, and the flowers and the berries as well. God, they did look sensational, didn't they? They really do. Right, Claire's just said on Facebook, how long are the deals on for? Well, we normally, I'll be honest, the offer code normally stays valid for the next 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. But with the clearance show, it's really until the items sell out. So, Claire, don't panic. Some things will have sold out. But we have got deep stocks of several of the items. So Claire, you'll still be able to get some great buys. I know Claire's at work, she was saying right now. And I mean, you know, I'm at work now as well, but I'm still managing to place an order, Claire. So, but yeah, the orders will you know, the prices will stay for the next few weeks, and we have got another live show on Sunday as well. But it's a great show, isn't it? Loads of amazing deals. Right, let's just remind you, because we're going to just bring out some new plants, some things you haven't seen. Let's remind you of some of your favourites. Now, I'm really keen on this one, and known as Jack Frost. So this is a very, very interesting plant that actually will do well in shade. Now, it is a plant that will die down in the winter. It's herbaceous, so don't worry, it will die right down in the winter, come back in the springtime, but it's a lovely plant for that difficult shady area, and the leaves are just exquisite, beautiful, almost like heart-shaped leaves. This one does flower as well. So again, if you've got that difficult area, this will do great in shade, but it will tolerate part shade as well. 561053, and that is only £4.99. Now, coming up in a few moments' time, we have got a brilliant deal on our Agapanthus Blue. Best price we have seen this year. It's only £17.99. I will be honest, ours in the studio has got flowers still on it. A few do, but don't expect that. But they're really well established in a huge 20 centimetre pot, 680130. The Agapanthus Blue is a stunning variety of Agapanthus. Really is quite striking. Those tall stems covered in flowers. We'll tell you more about it in a few moments' time. Now, Harkness Roses, this is an incredible company that started breeding roses in Yorkshire in 1879. And they are multi-award winning. I'm just thinking in the 140 odd years, 145 years, they've produced so many award-winning roses, 25 gold medals at Chelsea. They were shortlisted last year with the Chelsea pensioner. And the main thing about their roses is they are incredibly disease resistant and repeat flowering. So they will flower all summer long and will require very little amounts of care and attention. It's a beautiful rose, that one. Petulicious, as Bex described it, so full, bountiful, lovely yellow with a little bit of peach in there, and very highly scented as well. 531009. Now, the hibiscus, this is my top tip today. It's certainly one of them, because it's the hibiscus sugar tip, and there are two really exciting things about this particular variety. The flowers are doubles, so they're not singles, they're doubles. They're even fuller and more beautiful. And then the foliage, quite rare to see this on hibiscus, it's variegated. So you've got green with lovely edges of cream as well. Very easy to grow. Again, nice sunny spot. The more sun, the more flowers. Decent soil, but fully winter hardy. And one of the plants that really comes into its own as other plants are maybe dying back. So this starts flowering in July through to August and September. 511073. Now, if you missed this Cordyline, Stu, this has got to be one of the top sellers today. It is, yeah. So it is a huge Cordyline called Lime Passion, where you've got creams and greens and limes. You've got beautiful margins to those leaves. Cordylines, what I love about them, they look good straight away. I mean, literally put that in one of our pots and you've got instant architecture. We do say winter hardy, so backed by a lifetime guarantee, but I would, on a very cold winter, if there's prolonged frosts or snow, I'd just tie it up and protect the crown. And that is 680292 for the Lime Passion. Now, the other Cordyline that is also on our live show today is the Little Red Star. So it's a little bit more compact than its cousin, but you've got lovely, rich burgundy foliage. Cordylines do flower, but predominantly they are grown for their very, very striking and bold foliage. And that is 680291 at £6.99. Now, I would love you to buy our cherry tree today, because cherries are a lovely fruit, aren't they? But they are very, very expensive. You can grow them in the UK very, very easily. But if you think, if I don't have the space, this is a more compact variety, so maybe 2.5 metres in terms of total height. It's a big bare root tree. When I say big, it's already multi-branched. And all you need to do when you get it home is unwrap it, give it a good soak overnight, put it in a 30-litre pot. It would be very happy in there for a number of years, or you could put it in the ground. If it does go in the ground, you want a nice sunny spot with well-drained soil. Lovely blossom in the springtime on that one as well. 300,005. Now, a very, very rare and unusual Callistemon next, known as honeypot. So you'll have seen these, they're normally red, and occasionally we bring the pink one on the show, but today we have got a really rare one known as honeypot. A little bit more compact, so it grows to about 1 metre. It will need, I'm going to suggest, a bit of winter protection. They're kind of half hardy, so what I would personally do is leave it in a pot and maybe put it in the greenhouse. So if it is outside, just put it in a nice sunny spot that is sheltered from strong winds. You know, maybe against a wall, so that gets that extra bit of warmth. And you could obviously, because it's not massive now, so you could easily fleece that in the winter time as well. 501-556. And just thinking, if you're not a club member, you need to join today, because even though all the prices are discounted and it is a clearance, you will still get an extra 10% off if you are one of our 45,000 club members. Now, we are really pleased to hear that a lot of orders are going through for the Jack Frost. And this is one that you've got your eye on, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I always have loved it. I've never bought one because whenever I've seen it, to be honest, it's always been too expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
When I've seen it in garden centres, I've always walked past it and I love that plant, but the price has just been too high. But this one today at £4.99, that is the price that I can afford. So I think I'm going to get myself a few of these. The reason I love them so much is, well, they're stunning, first of all. They are gorgeous,
if I just show you that,
heart-shaped
look at
leaves
this.
that you get on here. And the frosting that you get is incredible. It just has this, I mean, it looks like a dusting of frost that's on there. Green colour underneath, and then this silver that comes through. And then in springtime, April and May, when you get this peppering of these dainty-looking purple flowers, the combination of the two things are incredible. And I really like that this grows in a shady spot.
Yeah, that's what appeals to me.
Yeah, so shady spots, they're the most tricky areas in our gardens, aren't they? You know, the full sun position, there's loads of stuff that lives in there and wants to be there. But the shady spots can be really hard to fill. Love ferns, adore ferns. And this will work perfectly with them. The contrast you're going to get with the hairy lip fern and this, for example.
I agree.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at thinking,
fill the corner with this and it'll look incredible.
God, I really need a few of those in my shady border. Yeah. I really do. Now, it's again, when it arrives, it's not going to look its best because right now it's about to go dormant. So it is herbaceous, it's dying back, but in springtime you get all the new growth coming through and it will be magnificent because it's already well established in a 9cm pot. And I think what I like is the fact that it flowers as well. You know, I've got lots of ferns, but obviously don't get any flowers from those.
Yeah, the flowers are amazing. I just think it's a showstopper. This one.
And it's been really popular today.
It's definitely one that's going to draw your attention.
Yeah. Right.
Love it. Well done, everybody, for getting that.
Oh.
Trachycarpus
Where is it?
here. That's coming up in a little while.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
Love Trachycarpus.
Yeah.
My friends, who I was going to visit today, but she's ill, so I can't go, they've got one in their garden. They've had it for a while, and it is...
Really?
It is tall. Because these can get really big. You can keep them a bit smaller if you keep them in a pot, but theirs is good 8 to 10 metres.
And it is really nice and hardy, that one. Now, the Agapanthus, and I'm going to say it straight away, yours probably won't arrive with a flower, and some have. We've been out in the nursery, but actually, in reality, yours probably will not come with a flower, because it is November as well, very much. But... look at what you're going to get. That is a really mature Agapanthus.
It is very mature. In actual fact, you could probably divide that next year. You could probably divide that and create a couple of plants out of that. You can leave it if you want to in the one pot. That's absolutely fine. You'll get multiple flower spikes from this as well once this really gets going. Agapanthus is, again, this one's another show-stopping plant, isn't it? This is one that really does draw the attention.
I know you shouldn't ask a plant its age, but I'm going to.
Look at the size of that stem.
I know.
As well. Look how sturdy those stems are. It's massive.
And this, I mean, jokes apart, this will be a plant of several years of age.
Yes.
Because
yes.
You can see by the amount of clumps of those green leaves that you've got, it's a mature plant.
Yeah, and it's really good to buy. I mean, you can buy a baby Agapanthus if you want to, but you'll be waiting several years to get flowers. If you buy baby Agapanthus, you do have to have some patience because it'll just take a little while. This you will get flowers.
Yeah, and do you know what? Again, if you want to, these Agapanthus look great on mass.
So good.
So you might want to buy a few of those. They've already been selling well. It's a very, very good price today. My garden centre near me, if you went there during the summer months when their Agapanthus were in flower, some of them were like £60.
Yeah. And
they were about this kind of size. But in the summer, when these are flowering, garden centres will charge a premium. Buy it today, best price ever. We're clearing the stock at £17.99. Now this has really interested me because some of you know, but me and my other half. We started from scratch with our garden. We bought a house and had it knocked down and rebuilt, and we were left with a building site. And we had to put in lots of hedges. And I'm just being out honest, I hadn't planted hedges before.
No.
No, I hadn't actually.
We've all got to do things for the first time at some point.
So we put different hedges in, and some we did as bare roots.
Yeah.
Some we bought that arrived in cloth sacks, and some we bought in pots for the different hedges. The potted ones were so expensive, so we only did a tiny bit of potted. The bare roots were more affordable, but they take a long time to establish.
Yeah.
I cannot believe, when I saw the size of these today, 3 of the hornbeams for £12.49.
Yeah.
And look at the size.
I know.
I mean, you will have a hedge before you know it with these.
Absolutely. The foliage on it is really pretty as well, and it turns a lovely sort of gold and bronze colour as it ages. And actually, a lot of the time, the foliage does stay firm. It looks like it's gone over, but it does stay firm and holds on to the branches over winter at a time as well. So lots and lots of things to talk about with this one. It can cope with winter wet. It can cope with clay soil. It can even cope in more exposed locations as well, and that's not the same for all types of hedging.
If you wanted to do a whole hedge on this, I mean, at £4 a pot for club members, less actually. I mean,
really affordable.
Some of the hedges I did a beech hedge. So I'd say similar, because again you get the lovely colour changing leaves. The beech holds onto its leaves in the winter time, then you get the new green shoots in spring. But our beech hedge cost several hundreds of pounds. It really did. I remember. I mean, some of the potted hedging was like £40–50 a pot. So £4 each is amazing. So if you're thinking, I want some screening, I want a hedge down a certain part of your garden, I would multi-order those. Yeah. I do think a hornbeam is very attractive, don't you? I
do. I really like the deep ridging that you get on the leaves as well.
And when it changes colour, it looks incredible. Is that definitely the right price to you? And I'm not just saying
for
this.
3 pots. Yeah. In 3-litre pots as well. It's pretty good, isn't it? That's what the clearance is all about today.
Honestly, I'm sort of gutted, because I know what we spent on some of our hedging.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that, because that seems wrong. Seriously, I'd expect to pay more for bare root.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that is bare root pricing for sure.
It is a great time to plant. I think there's some videos online as well. I remember doing them several months ago.
You did.
Because if you've never planted a hedge before, there are videos online and there's information there, because you might want to know how far you space them, how deep you dig your trench. But there's lots of hints and tips on the YouGarden website in terms of planting hedges. It's a bit of work. It's a lot of digging. But it's worth it.
Totally worth it. Particularly if you want that screening. Yeah,
and if you want a natural-looking garden as well. I was thinking, hedges, hornbeam just looks so natural. To me, it really works in the UK. It's a lovely hedge. There's a few hedges I'm not so keen on. But I like them. Right, pots.
I've got them. They're all here. So, shall we start with this one?
I will do some lifting.
Let's do Knox hanging basket pot here. Doesn't have to be a hanger, by the way, because these remove really easily. You can just take those off, so you could just have it as the pot if you want to, but those will clip back into place really nice and easily. They've got the drainage on them. They've even got the raised bit here as well, so if you are putting it directly down, there is space for that to be able to drain away. Absolutely stunning design on there. Quite a traditional feeling design to it, I think.
£2.24 for club members. That's why my voice is high. £2.24.
So you might want to multiply on these, particularly if you're using them as hanging, because it's lovely to have 2, isn't it?
And what I love about this particular size, I think they make great winter baskets. Some people don't want massive winter baskets. You want to save some of your budget for summer, but they make a great winter basket. And they are, as Bexley shown, they're anti-twist as well. And there are options with hanging baskets, and I've got various ones. But the ones that require liners, you've got to replace the liners every few years.
Yes.
You don't have to with those. Right.
Bella, you've got it in your hand.
I have got the bellas for you next.
What's that?
It's this one here. I don't know. Why has it got compost in it?
Because you emptied a pot
Oh,
into
I
it earlier.
did. So these
You have to
are
get Craig in to do the vacuuming later.
So these are the lovely kind of traditional looking pots. We'll give you the details because they're oh wow, $1.99.
Yeah. That's all we need to say. Multi-buy on those, definitely.
Yeah, great
$1.79
drainage
in the club.
You've got, say, drainage holes, drainage channels. One of the things that happens a lot now in the UK is plants become waterlogged, and actually the best way of killing most plants in the UK is to have the roots sitting in water. They just rot away. You're not going to get that with those. You've got great drainage. We call it terracotta because it looks just like terracotta, but it's never going to break. You know, you're not going to suddenly find after heavy frost, oh, it's got a big crack down it. You're not going to drop it and it's going to shatter. I mean, I don't know how you'd break one of those.
No.
I really don't.
You probably crush it, yeah, stand on it. Maybe it'll crack and break then. But they're pretty tough, they're pretty hardy, and the plastic pots that we bring you have been designed to last for many years, so...
So I was tempted to stand on them, but
yeah,
I won't.
don't do that.
But no, they are indestructible. I don't think you'd ever know that wasn't a genuine terracotta.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think terracotta works in every single type of garden, don't you?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, yes.
No matter what your colour combinations are.
Yeah. And we love our Trinas.
Yeah, love these.
$1.49.
So both of these are actually a similar size, and that means they're really easy for you to change over your displays. So quite cost effectively, you can change your displays seasonally if you want to. Again, you've got the drainage holes in, really nice colour. Got the lip underneath and the reinforcement on there for you to be able to move them around. But they're £1.34 each if you're in the club.
Yeah.
So it might be worth multi-ordering there as well.
So really quickly, it's a clearance show. As usual, you get all free postage with orders over £40, and your free gift is the Blooming Fast. A lot of you will be watching the show on Catch It. We've had quite a few messages. People say, oh, I'm at work. Oh. You can still order, obviously, any time, but some things may have sold out.
Yeah.
But we have got deep stocks of many
A lot
of the
of
items.
things, deep stocks, yeah.
And we've got plants down to $3.99. But everything is incredible value, isn't it?
Really good.
There are some genuine bargains today, and I mean, I'm not being funny. You know, even if you're not in a position to pot things and put them in the garden right now, just buy them, and most of these will keep over winter, wouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You don't need to worry too much.
In fact, I think everything's winter hardy apart from the Callistemon, isn't it?
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got some mandevillas on. Those
yes.
aren't winter hardy.
Yeah,
Those are the other ones. Let's move on to the Trachycarpus, shall we? Because this one is probably one of the most winter hardy when it comes to the palms that you can plant in your garden. There's several of them. I've got, what have I got?
Phoenix canariensis.
Phoenix canariensis, pretty hardy, but this is probably one of the most hardy. Can cope with sort of -10 numbers here, and it is gorgeous. I'm certain this is the one that my friends have got in their garden, and this can grow up to 10 metres in height, and theirs is 10 metres in
really?
height. Yeah, it is. It is tall.
Wow.
I mean, they've had it for like, God, 15, maybe even 20 years, and they've just let it grow. It's in a beautiful sunny spot, and it stays nice and slim. This is the thing, so it doesn't take up loads and loads of space, but it's a definite showstopper. Love it. Absolutely gorgeous. And have you had a haircut, Sean? I've just noticed. I feel like you've had a haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look very svelte.
I look very what?
Svelte.
Svelte.
I like it. I just noticed it from the side there. It's like,
See?
oh, you look really handsome.
That's me trying to look handsome, trying to pull like an Elvis type face. Thanks, Bex.
Pleasure.
Have you had your roots done?
Shut your face, you.
You have?
I have a little while, yeah.
Yeah, look great.
Yeah. So this one is absolutely ideal for our British climate, and that's what I want to get across to you. You can have these tropical, holiday-feeling plants in your garden and not have to worry too much about them.
Cool. Right, hang on. A big order's just come through. Was it for the Hornbeam?
Oh, it's the Agapanthus. Yeah, why not? Go for the Agapanthus.
Right. I tell you what, we are getting a lot of big orders coming in.
Yeah, because we've got amazing deals.
Everything is amazing in terms of price.
Amazing prices.
I really like this palm because I mean, I love your Phoenix canariensis, but they're a little bit more spiky. This is kind of like it's a very soft palm, if you know what I mean.
Very soft. It's evergreen. The shadows that it creates are amazing. You know, it's a really easy one to look after.
And I like the foliage on this always stays quite close together. Yeah. If you know what I mean. It's quite full looking.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
absolutely.
And it is one of the more expensive palms normally, but today it's only $14.99. So I love having tropical palms in my garden.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I mean, I'd love to have a full tropical area, but actually what I'm doing is mixing in those tropical-looking plants with some of the more sort of, British-feeling plants, and it creates a lovely contrast.
God. So thank you to everyone that's placing orders, by the way, but we were so excited about today's show. It's been ages since we've done a clearance show, and this is going to be one of the busiest ever. But don't forget, you have to use that code YGTV4624 to get all the savings, and of course your free gift worth £5. Can't believe we're doing a free gift as well. Right, we are going to move on to our evergreen. Oh, sorry, hang on. Oh, we need
to talk to Boris. Hello, Boris. You're saying you can't get the items from the show in your basket. Is that right? Sounds super. Can't get items from show on my phone or TV into basket. All right, Boris. We're gonna show you through it. We'll talk you through it. Let's see. Go to YouGarden.com. Click here. Look where you can see live now. If you're on your phone, it might be down the bottom, but that's what you're looking for. Is that live now bit? Then if you scroll through, you can see all of the items here. So you can click add to basket from there. So, Trachycarpus that we just had, where is it? There it is, look, just add to basket, and then you can add to basket there, and then you can view your basket. And then you can continue shopping, and you can continue shopping, you can go back and keep adding into your basket from there. But make sure you've put that offer code in, YGTV4624, and then that'll give you the savings, it'll add your free gift in. So, Boris, is that what you're doing, and you're still struggling to get items in your baskets? Let us know. Hopefully that's the process, and that will work.
If for some reason it's not working for you, you can of course give us a call.
Get on the phones, down the bottom of the screen there. Look, 0844 502 0050. So if you note down the item codes that you want, or even you could probably do the item description, but it's probably better if you do item codes.
If you do,
Tell the operator the code YGTV4624 and then run through the item numbers and they will put the order in for you.
Yeah, but let us know how you get on, because it'd be a real shame to miss out on these amazing clearance deals today. And if you haven't got any questions whatsoever, don't forget you can email us ygtv@yougarden.com. So it's ygtv@yougarden.com. You can chat live on YouTube and Facebook. And yeah, we would love to hear from you. And let us know what you're buying. I mean, we're getting some really, really big orders coming in. A lot of you multi-ordering. A lot of you, no doubt, maybe placing several orders today. But we would love to know what your favourites. We really would.
Yes, please.
Right, we're going to move on. We've still got loads we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, the Japanese sedge collection. The evergreen Japanese sedge collection. So this is going to give you year-round colour and really gorgeous, dramatic foliage. It looks a bit like a grass, doesn't it? Which I quite like.
Yeah.
So if you've got sort of grass areas or you want that look and feel, then this is a perfect one to add in, because you do get ornate, strappy leaves rising from that lovely central part of here.
And I like the fact that, because I have got these in my garden.
Sedge.
Yeah, but I've only got this colour here.
Right.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get three individual varieties.
That's what I've got. I've got loads of the same one, but I love the idea of having three where you've got sort of like lots of different shades of green. That really works, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
And I can tell from my experience they are one of the easiest to grow.
Yeah, there's very little you need to do for
There really isn't, yeah.
You might want to remove a few of the sort of faded leaves. You can sort of comb through it in winter and some of the faded leaves come away. A small snip in early summer, and that's going to remove them. But the three varieties you've got are Everest, Everillo and Eversheen. So you've got variegation, you've got gorgeous sort of creamy colours, you've got bright limey colours in there as well. I mean, planted next to some, winter flowering plants or bedding plants.
Yeah. I mean, they work all year round.
Isn't it?
And again, that you could use them in your pots and containers right now as maybe a centrepiece. They look.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
Yeah, why not?
I like that.
But I like the fact you get three different ones. So again, grouped together in three pots. They look really good. Some of the pots I've just shown you look great in those, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah, Torinos.
Yeah.
I reckon in the Torinos that'd look good.
But just to have evergreen foliage, low maintenance, very little to do with those, and that is 561305 at just £12.49. That's really cute, don't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Physocarpus or Azalea? Azalea.
What's the price for our
star? It's busy.
It's star style, that's why.
It's busy for the Azalea.
Wow, that is good.
Yeah. Okay,
That's big.
Azalea Star Style. This is the result of an 18-year breeding program, which is amazing, isn't it? You get distinctive star-shaped flowers that actually sort of match the shape of the foliage on this plant, which I really enjoy, but it's the colour, isn't it? It's a real hot pink colour that you get from them. It normally, I mean, you get flushes of this happening, but it's a spring flowering thing.
Yeah.
Around sort of April, May time, you get it. You get a few flushes of it happening through the summertime, but you also get a second, sort of more distinct blaze of flowers that happen towards the end of summer too.
And with it being an azalea, it does need acid soil, so do bear that in mind. So you need to either have acid soil naturally in your beds, or you need to buy some ericaceous compost. But it is unusual, and I like the fact that this is quite low growing, so it doesn't get much taller than it is now, but it does spread sideways.
It can, yeah. It can double its size, so it can get to about 40 centimetres height, but it can get to, you know, probably double that widthways. I keep mine in a pot, so mine's not going to spread that far sideways. I don't have ericaceous soil, so I keep mine in a pot, but it's evergreen. It looks great all year round.
It does.
It's amazing.
And you do sometimes get, as Bex was saying, some extra flowers later on in the season. But I've got a whole border of ericaceous plants, and these are great, say, it being a bit more ground cover, but lovely flowers. I mean, they are like ribbons, aren't they? And the colour, you can see that it's a really bright crimson. So this is a showstopper. I mean, it's not a shy and retiring plant. It's called Star Style because it really does have star quality and an awful lot of style. Beautiful. And that only came back the last few years, didn't it?
Yeah, it was quite new. Only 2-3 years.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm going to sneeze again, Bex. Have I finally got your cold?
Does that mean you'll get ill? That's you. Bless you.
Oh, God. So Bex is the one. I sneezed. I was like, no, I feel fine.
Well, I was supposed to be going to visit my friend this afternoon, and she's phoned me and she's like, I'm ill. I was like, I'm not coming.
No,
I'm not coming.
Bex has just got over cold.
I'm not coming.
Right, can I just say thank you to everyone placing their orders today. Brilliant show. I think it's the best we've had this year. It's a clearance show. When some of the items have gone, they will not be coming back till next year, and they will not be at these prices. So fill your boots. Big orders coming through, and say, even if you don't know where the plants are going to go, you'll find a home for them. But
totally.
get them while you've got these incredible prices. And a lot of you are really multi-ordering on your favourites. So lots of orders going through for the Agapanthus. The Hornbeam, if you want to do a whole hedge, now's the time to go for that as well.
Brunnera, the Jack Frost.
Yeah!
Popular. The next one we've got is the Physocarpus, the lady in red, and you're going to get 3 of these. Now, this is an award-winning plant. It's got the RHS Award of Garden Merit, but it is rich and fascinating because of the foliage, the stems, the flowers, and the berries. Oh, my word, we've got so much to tell you about with this. It is a deciduous plant. It will drop its leaves in winter, but you've got deep, dark, rich, luxurious burgundy foliage, clusters of these creamy white flowers, and then you're going to get autumnal red berries on here as well. So that is just amazing. So much to look at, but it's really easy to grow. It's weatherproof once it gets established, and pretty easy to look after. Bit of hard pruning every few years to maintain the size. You can cut it back by sort of half to help maintain the size, but that's kind of it.
I loved it. I'm just looking at the colour of the leaves. Yes, you got, as Bex was saying, the added advantages of the flowers and the berries, but the foliage is really, really quite beautiful. And I've learned from my own garden, you need different coloured foliage.
You do. It's so important.
Yeah, if it's all green, then it can look a bit boring. But when you've got bronze colours and browns and reds and pinks, it just looks so much more interesting.
And that in sunshine as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to really highlight the colours on there. It's winter hardy. You can put it in a sunny position, but you can also put it in a more shady position as well, so it's quite versatile.
And do you know what I'm just thinking? We're going to move back to the Sambucus, but you imagine that.
With the Sambucus?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
What a contrast that would be.
Very nice.
Right, if you have just joined us, by the way, hello.
Hello.
We're having a lovely time. We love a clearance.
It's a good day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a brilliant day.
It's a good day to be in the potting sheds.
And we cannot, at the end of the day, we can only do clearance shows once in a while. We, 1 or 2 a year in normal. Because our prices are, you'll know if you're a regular, our prices on YouGarden TV are really low.
It's so good.
Really good. But this is a very special show because we've got a lot of, obviously, Christmas products coming in. All our Christmas trees will be arrived. In fact, they've arrived, haven't they? Yeah, I've sold the potted Christmas trees. And we do need to clear some space. But also, it's a quieter time of year. So we can either choose to have lots of stock over Christmas, all we can get rid of stock right now. So we are getting rid of stock right now. This is a Sambucus Sutherland Gold, and I love Sambucus. I've got them in my own garden. Again, it's about to die down now, so it's about to lose its final few leaves. It will be dormant over the winter, but in early I would say, normally early March, you start to get the new growth, so March, April time. And this is covered in buds. You can actually see where the new leaves are going to be coming from. Look, all of these buds here. And what we love about this one, it is the colour of the foliage. It's called Sutherland Gold because in the sunlight you get lovely yellows, golds, the vibrant greens, and the leaves on here. I mean, this is nothing to do with an acer. It's actually an elderflower, but the leaves do remind me a little bit of an acer.
They do, absolutely. But then in sort of mid-springtime, you get these beautiful white flowers on there. It's quite abundant, creamy white flowers. And then you also will get some berries as well that will appear in autumn time. Red sort of fruits that appear in autumn. So we're not only attracting and appealing to our own eyes with this plant, but we're also inviting bees, butterflies and birds into our garden with this one.
And it is fast growing. That's one of the reasons I got it, because I wanted my garden to establish quite quickly. Can I just say as well, they are very, very easy to prune. The actual stems are hollow. And so it's not, they do, I mean, it's amazing, even on a really big plant, how you can cut it right back. And so if it ever does get too big and you need to really start again, just really prune it hard back, and you'll be amazed at the amount of new growth you get in a year. Mine's grown about 1 metre or so in a year sometimes.
Yeah, that's how vigorous it is. It's a good one.
It's a nice one, really nice one. And it is only £6.99 today, 511 494. I've got so many things on my list today. The Sempervivum is next.
Love the Sempervivum, love a trick charm. They're beautiful, they're evergreen, they're drought tolerant, they're low maintenance. Once you've got one, you'll have multiples because they constantly produce babies for you. You can start collecting these as well. The genus here, you've got 40 or 50 different varieties. And I think once you've got, I mean, look at that display.
I know.
That is so pretty. Put them in pots, have them, Sean's got, he's got little steps in his garden. He's got them in little pots just lining down the steps there. The blaze of colour you get, and it changes throughout the year as well, depending on how much light and how much heat there is. So there's always something to look at, and you can remove the babies, you can remove those little chicks, you can pot them up, you can leave them around the edge, you can create a beautiful display, and putting gravel around it, like you can see there, that really makes them stand out even more. Put them in a bright, sunny position. They will give you colour all year round, and they're fully winter hardy. You don't need to worry about them.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a picture back, so I've been useless, can't find it. But what I wanted to really show you is that I have got several varieties of these, but mine are quite dull. A lot of mine are just one colour, like green, or, this one you've got green, but you've got burgundies, you've got little bits of red in there. And did you say they flower, Bex?
I did not.
Yeah, we sometimes forget they do flower.
We do forget.
Yeah. And they're quite adorable. We get the stems about that tall with lovely little pink flowers on, and they're really sweet, really sweet. Right, Erigeron is next.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs some of these. Everybody needs Erigeron in their garden. You have definitely got a space for Erigeron. If there's a gap somewhere, put an Erigeron in, because if you've got a gap, a weed will grow. Why not plant something in there that's going to flower for you from March, April time, right the way through? Mine are looking amazing now in November. They do not look like they're giving up anytime soon. They'll go slightly dormant in winter, they'll stop flowering, you'll chop them back, and then they'll come back again. Year after year, colour-changing flowers, and they're so low maintenance. Just easy peasy.
And I reckon over the season you must get thousands of flowers.
Thousands, definitely.
And they, for me, although the individual flowers are quite simple, like a daisy flower, it's the amount that you get and the different shades of pink and white that gives them a really quite spectacular look. A friend of mine, she's got these literally growing out of stone steps. They've kind of self-seeded, they've spread.
Nutrient poor soil and just cracks in
seriously.
They will grow.
Yeah. I mean, I've got mine growing amongst an area of rubble in my garden. They look fantastic. They really do. And it's true. A triple pack, 749, and that is 560-640. 674 if you are a club member. By the way, if you're not a club member, you can join today. It's £5 for the year on auto renewal. So you get a £5 price today that will give you a discount for 12 months, and it will automatically renew. But if you want to cancel at the end of 12 months, you can do. But we will keep that price of £5 per year for your life as well. And you get £20 worth of vouchers to spend.
Love it.
I have one voucher left.
Do you? I think I've still got 3 left.
Really?
Yeah, I'm good.
I've got 1 left.
I might use them today.
Right, we have also got some beautiful ferns for you right now. It's a price of only £5.99, but you can double up and go for 2 for £9.99. And
it's got a lovely texture to it, this one. It's quite fuzzy, quite soft. Like it.
An evergreen, so this is not going to die down.
No, so this is a compact one. So this is only going to get to about 1 foot by 1 foot. Brilliant, put it at the front. It's an evergreen fern. Now, you know, there are some that are semi-evergreen, or they are deciduous, or they're herbaceous and die back down. This one is evergreen, so there's always something to look at. No pruning required. I mean, you can literally plant it and leave it alone. Put it in a shady spot. This one can cope in a sunny spot as well. Fix those problem areas in your garden. Fix them with luscious foliage.
And what I love about ferns is the fact that they, generally speaking, are very disease resistant.
Yeah.
I've never had problems with ferns. I really haven't.
Nope. And the slugs and snails do not like them, which is brilliant.
And I can only assume that, a bit like strugs that we sell, it's something to the texture.
Yeah, maybe.
They just don't like the feel of them. So unlike hostas that can get, you know, eaten overnight by slugs, these are brilliant in terms of being slug repellent, easy to grow, and they love a shady spot, but equally they'll do fine in sunshine as well. Now, the Verbena has been really, really popular today.
Look at the price.
I know, at
$3.99.
I'm not surprised at all. And it's one of my favourites in my own garden. In fact, I'm going to say it's my favourite perennial, I think, of all time.
Yeah.
Look at the roots on that.
Such a healthy plant in a 17cm pot. It's amazing. It grows quite big as well. It can get nice and tall, so adding height, but it's see-through. Pollinators love it, and it looks amazing in Sean's garden. Looks good in mine as well, but here's Sean's.
Well, this my patio looks a little bit severe and harsh, I think you'll agree. But if I take you around this side, I actually planted last year Verbena bonariensis, and I just love this because you still get the view, but it softens the whole border, and I just adore these like pom-poms of purple. And it's a massive one for the pollinators as well. You get so many bees just dancing around here. But Verbena bonariensis, it's often known as a transparent plant, and what it does, it really highlights other plants in your beds and borders without dominating. You can always see through it. You've got these lovely kind of, I always call them like plants that look like they've done Pilates, because you've got these long, lean kind of stems and side stems, and there's these little purple pom-poms on the edge of every one. So they never block, they never dominate, they never overtake, but they complement all the other plants in the garden. Now, these are in full flower right now. Last year, I let them go to seed. I want to show you what's happened. So if you come and take a look down here, I mentioned that I let these go to seed last year. They look really attractive during the winter, but look, there are now hundreds of mini Verbena bonariensis. Look, loads and loads of these. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig these up and I'm going to plant them all the way around the garden. So imagine what I've got here. I can have the other side of the patio, and then I really want, that border's a bit dull over there, so I'm just going to plant dozens of Verbena bonariensis, and I think it's going to look great. And all these plants were free just from the seeds from these. Hello again. Do you know, under that clip of film, I just said to Bex, I'm going to buy loads today. I really am. I did, and I am. So you've got the Verbena, really well established, brilliant plans, 560925. Right, and who's just said the...
Eleanor.
Eleanor, yeah. So Eleanor's just said hers have had loads of babies this year. So a little tip, we shouldn't really tell you this, but we want you to get, you know, the best from YouGarden. Leave the dead flowers on over winter because they look really attractive anyway.
They
do. They look great. And I think there's a real trend now in terms of rather than tidying everything up in autumn, just leave some of the flower heads on and they will self-seed. And I got about 100 babies this year on mine.
Yeah.
You know, so I've got loads of free verbena that I could share with friends and family. And this is well established. I mean, I had to wait sort of like a couple of years till mine got to full height. I reckon that one next year we'll probably get close to about 2 metres, 180, 2 metres even. And I would multi-order those because they look great on mass. I don't think verbena, I think one by itself doesn't work as well as having several.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they look better placed amongst other plants than having several. Yeah, I do. In fact, a friend of mine's got like a whole board of them with hydrangeas, actually. It looks great.
Very nice.
Right. If I was to pick one plant in terms of value, I think it's got to be this one. Do you think?
I don't know.
No?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, it's amazing.
Come on, Bex.
Verbena as well. I mean, there's too many to choose. I can't.
Right.
Stop asking me silly questions.
$6.99. Come on.
$6.99.
I mean, if you were in a garden centre and the reduced to clear section was there.
Yeah.
And you know, like normally in a garden centre, when you get a reduced section, everything's half dead, and that's what's reduced, isn't it? It's a plant that looks like just its last legs, but you're thinking, oh, well, can I revive it? These are beautiful.
I like
look at them.
So when this comes to you, okay, so it'll be in a box and it'll be sort of tied up like this. And then you get it out of the box and you'll release it and it just goes boom. And that is what I really love about these, because that is instant impact, instant drama, just that'll change your space straight away. And you don't even need a massive garden. If you had a balcony, you could put one or two of these on a balcony.
It'd look great.
And it'd look amazing, wouldn't it?
And all it needs is... Oh, I'm going to sneeze again, Bex.
Achoo. He's going to be ill. Bless you.
Oh, that's... I know I feel fine. It's just a...
Oh, you never sneeze.
It's just that you're dusty.
Wowzer.
Oh, don't say... No, I'm joking. Do you know what? This is so true, right? So a couple of weeks ago, I was gloating that I'd never ever had any aches or pains, right?
And then he got a bad back.
Yeah. And then I've been gloating that Bex had several colds. I've not got them. And then say like, Andrew. I say it's true. I should just keep my mouth shut. Anyway, I am absolutely buying several of these.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not being funny. I'm just thinking for the pub garden that I look after. These in pots throughout the winter would look amazing, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I love them in urns. You know when you get those lovely urn planters and you put them in there and then you can underplant with something else? They look so good like that. So good.
So they are in our clearance. Why they are $6.99?
No idea. They don't need to reduce the price of those. But we love you, so there you go. That's why.
Oh, sorry, I'm just gobsmacked at that. And that is the size you can get. Right, very busy. If you want the red star, that is the other variety. And this is a little red star, so it's a bit more compact. Beautiful burgundy red foliage. Cordylines, they are great in pots. They are easy to grow. We do say they're winter hardy, but just tie them up if it's particularly cold and put a fleece around them if it's a really cold snap or there's lots of snow, things like that. They can flower. Established cordylines can, of course, flower, but they look great in every single type of garden. They look just at home in a kind of modern garden as they do in a country cottage garden as well. Do you know what? Sorry, but I think Bex stood behind the cordyline. You really get to see the colour.
There you go.
Don't you think?
It's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah. Both very pretty there, Bex.
Thank you. I do love the colour of that lime passion.
It is amazing.
I've got that one now. I love that one so much.
Yeah.
Right, Stella Cherry is the next one. Now, this is a bare root. This is what you will receive. The roots themselves will be wrapped, but the beautiful thing about buying a bare root, first of all, is amazing value for money. You're not paying for the pot, the compost, all the other things that will put the price of that up. Excuse me, with your Stella Cherry as well, this is going to be so fruitful. So within a few years, you're going to have to wait a couple of years, but within a few, 2-3 years, you'll start getting fruits on there. You're very much investing in the future, and you will get kilos and kilos of fruit from this because it's an amazing sweet cherry variety that's very, very fruitful. Also, this one has been grafted onto that miniature rootstock. So cherry trees traditionally used to get metres and metres in height, didn't they? That's why you had to have a cherry picker to be able to pick the cherries. But with these, they're only ever going to get to about 2.5, maybe at maximum 3 metres in height because of the fact it's been grafted on that miniature
And that
rootstock.
does mean that you get all of the cherries, because with the huge trees, unless you had a cherry picker, the birds got them all, basically. Whereas this is going to be the right size so you can actually reach the cherries, but also if you do need to, as the cherries ripen and they become even more attractive to birds, you can of course net it
easily.
Very easily. And I was just thinking, it's horrible what's happened to the world in terms of climate change and the environment, and any little thing each one of us can do to help has got to be a good thing. So just growing your own, just think, rather than buying those cherries in the supermarket that have been transported across the UK or even across the world, that are in plastic containers, if you grow your own cherries, if we all ate a bit more seasonally, imagine what a difference that would have globally. It's food for thought, isn't it? So we often talk about food meters rather than food miles. Being able to just walk out your front door and pick cherries, that's got to be good. And if you're thinking, you know what, I'd love a cherry tree, but I don't have the room. We were saying it's a compact variety. It's on that small rootstock, that mini rootstock, and you could even grow this in a pot. Our 30-litre heavy-duty pots would be absolutely perfect for this. And one final thing I want to add is that our bare roots are multi-branched. Sometimes in the supermarket or a garden centre, you just get what we call a whips. It's a single stem, and it's going to take a long time for that to become a lovely tree. This is multi-branched. So it's a really
you get
good
fruit
deal.
earlier, basically. You're getting it quicker.
I think that is such a good deal.
Let's go into the emails, shall we? Because we haven't shown anything yet, so apologies to anybody.
It's just been really busy.
It's been a busy show. Dingo, first. I did read Dave's question, but I haven't shown any pictures. I'm doing it. I'm on it. So, first of all, let's go with Dingo. He got in first this morning. Dingo says, "Morning, Gan. Thanks, YouGarden, for the fast delivery of my 60 pansies and 6 peonies and free gift. Fire lily is still flowering." That's amazing, Dingo.
Wow.
Let me find the fire lily first of all.
Dingo's good.
Mine is not. Mine was done ages ago. So, Dingo, that is incredible.
Is that all undercover, the pub area? Is it?
I think it is slightly undercover. It's sheltered.
Yeah.
I mean, mine was in my conservatory. I obviously gave up looking after it too early. He'll come back next year, so it's fine. So his fuchsias are still going strong as well. That's a lovely picture.
And these were taken today?
They must be recent, today or yesterday. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then final picture. Oh, that's his delivery look.
Yay!
So he's got his 60 pansies. He's got his bare roots in there. Bowl of Beauty.
Oh, that's a
lovely.
great one, Dingo.
Got his free gift. So that was last week's delivery, wasn't it? Last week's order.
Hey, I wonder if
Thank you very much.
I'm just going to check if my order's arrived as well.
Penny has sent... Oh, I don't know what this plant is called, though. Penny has sent a picture of her garden. I wish I could remember the name of that. Do you know?
It's Mahonia.
Is it Mahonia? Yeah. Is that? Oh, that's a beautiful.
Yeah, that is stunning. They are. I love Mahonias, but they are a bit spiky.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Really
I do love them. They're outside. Yeah, these are the ones that are outside the doctor's surgery where I go. Beautiful.
I love them, but I used to have them in my old garden, and you'll know from having yours when you pick up the dead leaves, you've got to wear some really good boots. That is beautiful. Yeah, really
gorgeous
stunning.
Specimen there, Penny. Well done. Very, very nice. Thank you so much for sending your pictures in. If you do want to send pictures in, we will try and show them. We haven't got much time left and things are a bit busy, but by all means, send them in because we love seeing them. If we don't get to show them, we'll certainly look at them and spy on your gardens later on.
Yeah, so I'm just checking.
ygtv@yougarden.com is the email address. Has it been delivered yet?
No, my delivery's on its way.
Ooh, we've got a stock warning on the Agapanthus. That one is going to go.
Right. Do you know, we're letting secret, William, who's part of the team, you don't get to see William, but he's a brilliant member of the team, helps put the shows together. And he said earlier, he was chatting, he says, I'm going to buy some of those. William, if you're watching, you need to get your order.
Get in there, get your order in, because those are going to sell out.
And the reason we are short stock is a lot of you have been multi-ordering. Agapanthus look great en masse, where they grow naturally in countries like South Africa. They look great when you've got several of them together. Don't get me wrong, one in a pot, one in a border looks good, but at that price, if you want to do a whole border, if you want a display like the one we're seeing right now, the multi-order, but we are going to sell out of that by the looks of things. So apologies if you were streaming later on, that may well be sold out. Don't wait till Sunday, get your order in right now, and I'm going to suggest, because planting in 3, you'll know, many garden designers plant in 3s. If you go for 3 of those, then you will get free delivery as well, because you'll be spending over £40. Right, your Jack Frost is proving popular.
I'm so glad. I think, do you know what? I think a lot of people have experienced the same thing I've had with this, is that they love it, they've seen it, they want it, but it's expensive. Not today, not at YouGarden. It's £4.99, £4.49 if you're in the club. And this is one I think, yes, multi-order on this. While we've got this amazing price on it, get a few of these. Now, we'll spread. This will get to about 45 centimetres height, but it'll spread to about 2 feet. And that is amazing, isn't it? It is deciduous. It's a deciduous perennial, so it will sort of die down a bit over the winter time. But then when spring comes, you're going to get that foliage. Now, right now, it looks a bit green, but you get the green base and then this silver frosting that appears on it, obviously why it's called Jack Frost. And then in springtime, sort of between April and May, you'll get this peppering of those dainty-looking purple flowers, which contrasts so well with the frosting of the leaves. I love it. Every time I see it in a garden centre, I am drawn to it, but never bought it because it does command a high price point. And not today. It's
such a good time to buy these. Get them in the ground, get them settled, fully winter hardy, but as Beck said, it is herbaceous. It will die down, but it will be amazing in springtime. It's stunning, that one, isn't it?
Love
it really
it.
is. It's selling really well. That's on my list, Bex.
Good.
I'm going to put it down my shady corner.
Down your shady corner?
Yeah, we've got all my ferns and things.
In your shady past.
I've got a shady past.
Right, Callistemon. This one is called...
That shut me up, didn't it?
This one is called honeypot. And this one was brand new to me and Sean today. And we're super excited about this because we've obviously done the red one and that bright pink one, the Viminalis or whatever it was called. Viminalis? I feel like it was. Anyway.
I think that's...
Or is it... I can't remember what the colour of it... Anyway,
we've had... let's keep it simple.
This one's got the
pink and the red.
yellow bottle brush blooms
I've never seen this in the UK.
Nope. Never seen it growing. And it is fascinating, isn't it? Pollinators love it. We can see their little bee landing on it. It does remain a bit more compact as well than other varieties. So a lot of Callistemon can get quite big. This one, only about 1 metre by 1 metre. So this is great if you've got a smaller space and you've loved the idea of Callistemon. This one could work well. We are going to suggest give it a bit of protection in the winter. They are sort of like... half hardy, but you really want to just look after it, particularly its first few years until it gets a bit more established. And hey, Bex, you were right, weren't you? I was right.
Yes,
I just picked it up.
About the pink one. Yeah, well done. But we've never ever had the honeypot on the show, but do give it a little bit of protection over the winter months. Keep it in the greenhouse, or if it's in a pot, just put it in a sheltered but warm, sunny spot, and you'll reap the rewards next year. And they tend to flower sort of like May, June, July time, but I think it's really unusual to get that colour. And if you've already got Callistemon, I think to mix that in with them,
yeah, it'd be really nice. Yeah.
Imagine pink and the red and the yellow as well. I've got my eye on that one. At $3.99, it's going to be worth a go, isn't it?
Definite. $3.99.
I know.
Yes.
Loads more orders coming in, by the way. I know a lot of you have got big baskets open right now, but what we'll do, because we'd hate to miss out, we will sort of like give you the stock warnings. I've already mentioned about the Agapanthus, obviously, but anything as they start to become a bit low in stock, we will let you know, because we'd hate you to miss out. Now, is this low stock as well, Stu? Oh, right, so I've got my eye on this, because I've got lavender, but my lavender is a little bit woody.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I think it's past its best. It's been in there 4 or 5 years. And I think this sounds a great alternative.
It is a great alternative. So, I mean, I love lavender and I love the scent of lavender, but I do know that you either love lavender or you hate lavender, don't you, when it comes to the smell of it. It divides opinions, for sure. Some people really don't like the scent of lavender. But if you like the look of it, and you want that kind of look in your garden, then this is a perfect alternative. It's an excellent choice for poor, dry soil, which is where lavender grows. Perovskia will be happy there. Nice sunny spot for you. Gravel gardens, coastal locations, because this can cope with salty air and those drying winds. You get these upright, it's an upright sort of deciduous shrub, but you get those lavender-looking spikes of flowers from here. The foliage, when you brush past it, it gives off a scent of sage, so it's perfect for lining pathways. So you can just brush along
and it is. I mean, I think it smells gorgeous. We had a little smell of the foliage earlier. But in terms of, because I love the fact that my lavender is great for pollinators, but this is still great for pollinators. Now you are getting 3 of these for £8.99. So again, if you want to do, I think these would look good en masse, like lavender does, but equally, 3 of these amongst your other shrubs would be fantastic. But I love the fact that it's a great alternative to lavender.
Yeah.
The same position, sun, well-drained soil, but totally different fragrance. But equally, I'd say more or less as good in terms of pollinators.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely up there.
It's still amazing when it comes to pollinators. Gets a little bit taller than lavender as well. Oh, Agapanthus, we're hearing Stu saying it's not going to be here on Sunday. We really don't think it will. That's selling quite quickly.
So we are getting more and more orders coming through. If you want the Agapanthus, I mean, they're huge. And Agapanthus, you'll know if you've ever grown them, they are quite slow growing. Quite often it will take quite a few years to get them to size where they're going to flower. These are really mature. That's what you're going to get. You won't probably get a flower on it. I mean, they shouldn't be flying now, but a few of them do have flowers on the nursery, but don't expect that. But what you will get is a really big, mature plants. And again, they look great en masse, so you might well want to go for 3 or 5 of those or 7 of them. I would love to do. I mean, I've got so many plans in my head, but I'd love to do a whole border of them. I've got a really sunny border, and I could do the whole lot in them.
You could.
Yeah. But normally it'd cost hundreds, wouldn't it?
Not today.
Yeah. But seriously, William, who works here, we wanted to buy several of those earlier. He's going to have to get a move on. William, if you're watching, I know you're booking all the other things that I suggested earlier, but make sure you buy your Agapanthus. Now, what I love about these shows, many of the plants I've grown, but there's always, I mean, you can't grow everything, can you? And there's always some that I have never grown. And this is one of them. Yeah, and I don't know why.
You know, I remember doing a show with our lovely friend Adam, our garden designer friend Adam, on this, and he was talking about how he's used this in a lot of gardens because it is beautiful, it's easy to grow, it creates, because of that rich burgundy foliage that you've got there, it's a valuable one, but it's not just the foliage, you also get clusters of pinky white flowers in there, you get autumnal red berries, but it's really easy and weatherproof once it gets established as well. So it can cope in a sunny position, it can cope in a shady position. It's got the award of garden merit from the RHS as well, and it can tolerate fairly hard pruning too. So there's lots of win-win-wins with this.
I'm thinking of putting that at the back of my border just to give a bit of a contrast to some of the other plants.
Love that, yeah.
Yeah.
This is why we plant these different coloured shrubs and things in our garden, to give that contrast. It highlights, doesn't it?
Yeah. I tell you, I have seen a lot of that in Chiswick Park.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's in quite a shady area as well.
Yeah, it can go with shade.
I'm just thinking now, there's an area that...
Are they in Chiswick? I'll have to have a look round.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Yeah. And they look great, they really do. Right, really busy. But there's still more to show you.
There is.
We've got your mum's favourite now. That's important.
Yeah. So Mum loves Heucheras, and there's different varieties of Heuchera. This one's called the Silver Scroll. So this one again has got that lovely burgundy foliage on it as well. It's semi-evergreen. So most areas you're probably going to keep a decent amount of the foliage over winter. So certainly if you plant it somewhere sheltered. But I think the reason my mum loves this so much is that it can go in sun or a part shade position. So it's really nice and versatile, easy to grow, winter hardy. Barely any maintenance whatsoever, and you're also going to get summer flowers that just kind of rise up on lovely sort of tall slender stems out of that foliage in the height of summer in June and July time. Reaches about 30 centimetres in height, but it'll spread by about 40 as well, so it's a great gap filler.
I'll tell you where I've got some of mine. I've had my hydrangeas and they really like it there because it gets like the semi-shade of the hydrangeas.
Yeah.
It's quite a moist area, they seem to like that.
Very nice.
Yeah, but that's a really particularly attractive variety. And you are getting 3 of those for £11 and 97
3 of those 9 centimetre pots, they're all sort of in together there, but just so you can see it is 3 9 centimetre pots that you'll be getting.
But it's nice to have some easy plants in your garden. If everything's high maintenance, it becomes a labour of love. Right, really quickly, we've got a few quick reminders for you. We are having one of the busiest shows in ages. Remember, spend over £40, you'll get free delivery and you get your free gift today, our Blooming Fast. That alone will make 100 litres of premium plant food. But you need to use that code YGTV, Bex's age 24.
It's true. for another few months at least.
When's your birthday?
January.
January. Oh, of course it is.
End of Jan.
I knew it was in a rubbish month.
Rubbish month.
So
it's not as rubbish as yours.
Yeah, I know. But use that code YGTV4624. Right, let's remind you of some favourites. Hey, that Stella cherry is proving really popular. Stella cherry, it's the nation's favourite eating cherry. This will arrive as a bare root. It is a brilliant time to plant bare roots right now. The ground's still warm. It can get established and then start producing that incredible blossom in the springtime. You may get a few cherries next year, but year 2, year 3, you'll start to get kilos and kilos for many, many years to come. It's a very easy one to grow because it's not going to grow too big, so like 2.5 metres in terms of height. You can grow it in one of our heavy-duty pots. And all it really needs is a nice, bright, sunny spot. And do keep it well watered. I mean, don't let it get waterlogged, but in the winter, if we get like lots of windy days, just keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't dry out. And that's 300-005. Now, we have got the gorgeous, incredible palm for you next, the Trachycarpus. And it really is a very attractive palm, this one. One of the hardest in the UK. I mean, I've got one of these. I've had it years, and it's always survived the winters. It's a really nice sort of dense palm. All the leaves are really quite close together. They're very attractive. They're not spiky either. Actually, another thing I thought as well, some of my palms get quite shredded in high winds. This one seems to be a little bit more robust as well. 680-208, and that is only £14.99 today. It's a real beauty, that one. And it does arrive in a 14-centimetre pot. Now, the Sempervivum is one of the most stunning that we have ever had on the show, called Gold Nugget, and you can see why. So these are a type of succulent that are fully winter hardy. They're really easy to grow and they're really easy to propagate because they produce what we call little chicks at the side, and you can literally just grab hold of the babies, pull them up, and they'll already be rooted, put them in another pot, and you get loads and loads of babies. But this one does change colour depending on the season. In summertime, it tends to be totally green, but in the winter, you get these incredible reds. But in autumn, you'll get the gold tones as well. So it's a real beauty, is that one, and it is only £3.99. And the Sempervivums have become really, really popular again. I think all plants go through phases in terms of popularity and fashion, but Sempervivums are really, really on trend right now. Great for low maintenance gardens. They look lovely. I've got mine in terracotta pots with gravel around them, and they make the most stunning displays on little steps and things like that. Now,
if you want to get your order to over £40,
yes.
If you're struggling to get your order to over £40 and you want the free delivery, then why not add in an order of our famous premium professional compost? Because that will easily help you to get over. You'll get that free postage, and of course, you're getting the best compost in the business that's packed with all the ingredients that your plants are going to love.
Do you know what I'm struggling with? Getting my order to under £100. There's so many things, aren't there, today?
So many today.
And I mean, it's a really special clearance show. We only do 1 or 2 a year. We are generally giving you some of the best deals we've ever seen. But it is worth getting that free postage, isn't it?
Definitely worth getting it, and definitely worth adding some of our compost in there as well, because it works wonders for your plants.
And I always think that I mean, I can't imagine many people are struggling to get their order to over £40. In fact, is there only one person that spent under 40 today?
There?
2 now, okay, and that's fine. Because we appreciate you cannot maybe afford to spend over £40 every week with us. But if you've got a few things in your basket, you're thinking, well, that's enough, but I'd like to get free delivery, get some compost in, or get some of our pots. Of course you will. And there's nothing worse than running out of compost, is there?
No, it's so annoying.
When you're halfway through a job and it's like, I've run out of the professional premium compost. It's actually our top-selling product here at YouGarden. It's a compost we use on the nursery. So anything that we grow, like we pot up a lot of bare roots. We make obviously our pre-planted hanging baskets, and In fact, a lot of plants as well that are in the 9 centimetre pots. Or
They've all got this.
Yeah, and then they get potted on and grown on, but it is the best compost we've ever seen. And the formulation has been perfected over the past almost like 2 decades, isn't it? It's a long time.
I mean, it's got a bit of peat in there. It's got renewable peat. We've reduced the amounts. We're using minimal amounts, but still getting maximum results from it. A slow-release fertiliser, a pH buffer, so it's perfect for the majority of your plants. A wetting agent, which really helps the moisture to get in there, and that composted wood fibre as well, which really opens up and loosens that texture, which means that plants' roots can get in and form really nice, strong root balls. It is genuinely the best compost, and I know a lot of you already know this because you already use it and you won't use anything else, but if you're brand new to this and you're thinking, what on earth are they talking about? It's just compost, it's just some dirt. Go onto the website and read the reviews and find out how good it is.
And yes, there is peat in there, as Beck said. Some of that is replenishable and renewable, but in honesty, if you look closely into peat-free compost, I mean, it's great and it's ideal. You know, our ideal would be to be peat-free, but in reality, a lot of them just are not quite there yet.
Not yet. I mean, we'll get there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not yet.
They've come on, but I did a trial this year with my tomatoes, and I did some in peat-free and some in our professional compost, and the ones in professional were so much better. And I mean, Peter, our head gardener, he's got a very good argument when it comes to peat versus peat-free, because peat-free is full of coir, but
byproduct of coconuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coconut production.
And quite often coconuts are mass planted, and mass planting anywhere is not regarded as good. It isn't good for biodiversity and many other reasons why you shouldn't mass plant. But then you've got to imagine that coir has to be somehow shipped from the other side of the world to the UK and then treated back. So it's complex, and I'm not saying I've got all the answers, but this is it's a brilliant compost, and we have reduced the amount of peat, but it is still in there.
It is, yeah.
And you get 2 big bags. They're not labelled because it's a commercial product, but 2 big bags for just £22.48 for club members, £24.98 if you're not. Right, if you want to make certain areas of your garden a lot more low maintenance, then this is the way forward, and it is our ornamental spruce bark mulch. It's half price today. You don't just get a tray full, you get a big bag.
You get a 70 litre
bag.
bag,
do.
yeah.
The club price is £13.49. But there are so many uses for this, so many.
Yeah, well, so it neatens up a border, first of all.
Yeah.
Makes it look really attractive. I mean, with a little pig sat on it, it makes it really pretty. But it is useful in another way as well. So it will help to reduce down any weeds that grow. It will suppress weeds that come through, but it's also going to give your plants the winter protection that they need, because generally when you get a frost, it only affects the top couple of inches of the dirt. Well, if you put your bark mulch down, it's going to frost that and not the roots of your plant, and that's the important thing about mulching.
But also, it helps retain moisture, so when you get a really sort of like hot summer, it helps retain moisture. It's easy to walk on as well. Sometimes when your garden's really wet and muddy, you walk over your beds and borders to do some pruning and tidying up, and then you get mud everywhere all over your patio. So it makes it a lot neater, and great for children's play areas, of course, as well. But for me, just as a top dressing on your pots, it looks great. It really does. Yeah. Right, just I know some of you will be watching our stream a little bit later on. If you're watching live right now, coming up to 25 to 1, we have got less than 20 of the Agapanthus left. These are in our clearance. Everything's in our clearance today. Look at the size of it. I'm not being funny. My local garden centre had Agapanthus in the middle of summer in full bloom, and they were about £60 each.
Yeah. And do you know what? Loads of people will pay that.
And they were this size.
They will pay that, absolutely.
You're going to get this for £79. £16 if you're a club member.
Yeah.
Look at this.
It's so well established.
I mean,
loads of foliage on there, and you're going to get flower. You can tell you're going to get flowers in the first year. If you buy baby Agapanthus, you have to wait several years before you'll get flowers, because they have to reach a certain level of maturity. This is the Africanus, so this is the one that creates the really big, tall. I mean, I can't believe how strong those stems are. But these can get up to 1 metre in height, and you get multiples of them. You can get 15, 20, 25 flower stems that come off this once it gets established.
Do you know what? So I'm just thinking about the weight of this. I could not have lifted this a few weeks ago with my bad back. Now, what I'm going to suggest is, I mean, we should have probably limited it to 1 per customer, but we haven't. And a lot of you are multi-ordering. these would look great in threes. Imagine your border with 3 of these along it. That would really work. Imagine a whole border full of Agapanthus, which is how they grow naturally in countries like South Africa. So
it's a perfect
15
pot plant
left
as
now.
well, by the way. You know, we're talking about borders and things, and they do look great en masse, but if you want one in a pot, it's great because it likes to be restricted, and that will really help you to get even more flowers from it.
You do want the sunniest, warmest border possible, though. So you want well-drained soil, sunny spot. Don't put it in a cold, damp area.
Also, and I wouldn't normally say this, but don't put it in our compost, because our compost is very nutrient rich.
Yeah.
And it's a bit too rich for Agapanthus.
So you might just get loads of leaves. But get it now, 15 remaining. A few more orders have just gone through. And Boris has just asked, when are the phone lines open till the order lines? Till 6 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
So most of you do order online, but if you want to give us a call, you can do that, of course. The number's there.
Give them the code.
0844 502 0050. But yes, give them the code.
Indeed, you want to get those savings. Right, another one we've got for you is the
I love
Hibiscus
this.
sugar tip. I've got Hibiscus in my garden. I've got the whichever one. Who
Marina.
cares? Marina,
You've got
thank
Marina.
you. I got Marina, but this one is beautiful for 2 reasons. First of all, you've got double ruffled petals, which is gorgeous.
Lovely.
But secondly, you've got the variegated leaves on here, which adds that extra layer of interest if you needed something extra to look at with your hibiscus.
That to me is absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
Gorgeous.
The pink against the cream and the green is just stunning. Now again, if you saw this covered in flowers in a garden centre, RRP is actually really good, £24.99, £25. When you look, even like, I'm not being funny, but if it was half price, £12.49, I'd be like, wow, but it's under a tenner. And sometimes with gardening, and you'll know, if you, a lot of you are really experienced gardeners now, but we're all on our journey, it makes total sense to actually buy this now at under £10 and plant it and get all the benefit next year. When you buy a plant in its finest glory, when it's, if you buy this and it's in flower in a garden centre, the thing is, you're actually buying it in its peak and then you plant it and it's only going to go backwards probably from there onwards. With this, you've got the whole journey. You'll see the foliage appear. By the way, it will not get leaves until about May time. Do not panic.
It's quite late.
It is. Every year my mum goes, I've lost my hibiscus this year, it's died. I'm like, no, Mum, it hasn't. But it's very late sometimes coming back. It's probably the last thing to actually green up in your garden. But the flowers come sort of July onwards. So it's great for that sort of late summer into autumn. But all it needs is a good soil and lots of sun if possible. But they're brilliant and they're fully winter hardy. Please don't think it's, there are varieties that you'll see in the Mediterranean that anything near 0 and they die in the UK. This is fully winter hardy.
It does indeed.
That one I think is amazing.
And Grimmy was asking earlier, do I need to plant a lot of these straight away? I don't know where I'm going to put them. Can I keep them for a little while? Yeah, the majority of these are going to be absolutely fine. They don't need planting out. You don't need to find a home. Just obviously, with the smaller pots, the 9 centimetres, make sure you keep on top of keeping them watered.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have to decide instantly with a lot of these.
Because I've got a whole storage area of plants outside my greenhouse because sometimes
it takes a while to decide what you're going to do with them.
And I feel like, today I'm going to mass order, and I mean that. I'm going to buy loads of stuff, and I haven't even thought about where it's going to go. But it'll be fine.
It will be.
It will. Right.
My favourite, Jack Frost.
This is on your list?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Actually, I've wanted to buy them, but they've always been too expensive. But they're not. They're $4.99.
And I'm thinking, because you've got quite a few semi-shade areas in your garden, it's going to love it, isn't it?
It's going to absolutely adore it. Jack Frost likes to be in dappled, partial or full shade. So if you've got those tricky little spots in your garden where you don't know what to plant because they are too shady, then definitely this one. It's a stunner. You get the deep base, the green leaves, the heart-shaped leaves, which are really interesting, and they're quite big as well. They can get really big.
Like a hand size.
Yeah, and then they've got this frosting look to them, and then you get these lovely purple flowers that rise up in springtime, sort of April and May. I think it's a true winner, and I've said it a couple of times now. I've always looked at it whenever I see it in a garden centre. I'm drawn to it. I love it, but I've never bought one because they've always just been too expensive.
And to me, it doesn't look like it should be winter hardy.
No, it
but
doesn't.
It is. Do you know what I mean? It looks like it's going to not survive a British winter, but they do. Stock is flying on it, and what I love, and I've got a whole area that's shady where I've got my ferns and my grasses. I've got my aces there that get a little bit of sun, but that is going to really liven everything up beautifully.
Lovely.
561053.
Love it.
Right, we've been so busy today.
I know.
So massive thank you to everybody. Let us know what you think of the clearance. Have you had many comments about the clearance?
No, we
had a lot of questions.
but obviously everybody's loving it because we can hear how busy it is. So they're all too busy shopping to be saying anything. Stu, did you say there was a question? Oh, there is.
Yeah, so there's one question.
There's one question
from me. What's the favourite item on this table? Which one's the most popular?
Erigeron. Or
Verbena.
Verbena. Erigeron.
Or Sambucus.
Erigeron, Stu. That's my guess.
I'm going to say Verbena.
All right, let's see. Who's the winner?
I'm confident. I think it's Verbena. I'm so confident that it's Verbena, Bex.
Oh, neither of us is the winner. It's the Calanthes lanosa. It's the hairy lip fern. It's because it's a double up, that's why.
So hang on, what's the second favourite then? Oh.
Sambucus. What's the third favourite, Stu? Yes! I win, Erigeron. I mean, it's a hollow victory, isn't it?
That's what I'm thinking.
It's a very hollow victory. And then it's Verbena, and then Chicksham.
Can we just say, though, they've all been popular. They've all been loved. They really have, and we've had a really, really busy show. I was so confident with Verbena, though.
I was really confident with Erigeron. All right, the hairy lip fern is the most popular on this table, and it is a double up deal. So you could buy one for $5.99. Absolutely amazing value, but if you double up and put two in your basket and enter the code, you'll get two for $9.99. Of course, with that, you're still going to get your 10% discount as well.
Do you know why I think it's been the most popular? Because actually, as a fern, we've got lots of different types. It does tick a lot more boxes. The fact that it is evergreen, the fact that it is more compact, the fact that it is incredibly disease resistant, slugs don't like them. They are a brilliant filler in your garden, and what I love to, because I don't really like weeding because I've got a big garden, and sometimes weeding really, I don't have the time. So what I tend to do is underplant my shrubs and my trees with ferns, and it just, they survive that. It's amazing. A fern can survive with such a small amount of light. And look at the size of these. I mean, they're really well established.
Really well established. Great root system on there. None of the compost is falling away, so you know how healthy that plant is. You know that it's absolutely raring to get going in your garden. It's compact. It's evergreen. It's trouble-free. It's no maintenance.
Yeah.
I was going to say low, but it's no maintenance at all. Just plant it and enjoy it for many years.
If some of the fronds look a bit brown, you literally just chop them off. That's it. But yeah, they're one of the easiest and one of the most attractive plants to grow in your garden, and they have been around for millions of years. They're survivors. Right.
Sambucus.
Chris, this has also been really popular.
What you've got in your garden?
Yes.
So, the reason Sean planted it is because it was fast growing, right? You had a brand new garden, you wanted something that's going to establish quite quickly.
So some friends of mine had a brand new garden and they had lots of money. So what they did...
Bought mature established plants.
They had a garden designer and
very nice.
Massive plants arrived, and the garden looked incredible really in year one, year two.
Yeah.
Now, we ran out of money. But also, I wanted to do it myself and from scratch. So we bought small plants and we've let the garden mature, but I wanted some things to grow quickly, so I chose Sambucus. And honestly, you saw mine earlier, the black variety that I've got, the black lace, it's huge, and it started off this size, it really did. Now, this does not look its best at the moment, okay? So it's about to lose the last few leaves. You'll have the twigs during the winter. That is totally normal. And I'll be honest, this one is what I'd call a bit leggy in terms of shape.
Yeah.
It's not bushy, but it is a very, very healthy plant. And all you need to do is... again, if you don't want to plant it till springtime, you could leave it till spring. It'd be very happy in that pot. But if you are putting it in the ground, put it in now. And then in springtime, I would chop this down to probably about there.
Yeah, so if you chop it just above where the bud, because you can see on here
because
there's
there's loads down here as well.
So I'd probably chop it down to these ones, and we do recommend actually with Sambucus, you can see those buds there?
Yeah, there you go.
With Sambucus, actually hard pruning it in the first few years, because then what you create is a more bushy shrub. So where you chop it, it'll send out extra shoots, and you'll get a more bushy, full look from it, and that's what we want, isn't it?
And this particular variety, the colour is incredible.
Oh, it's such a glow when you see it.
It is.
When we see it out in the nursery, because there's 11 acres here, and obviously different sections, and when you see this en masse, all the different pots, and it's in leaf, it is incredible. It definitely stands out.
And we forget to say, sometimes we forget to mention, it does flower.
Yeah,
so,
and you get berries.
And you get berries as well. So it's a
with this.
beautiful plant. It can put on about a meter's worth of growth in a year, sometimes. They're really quite fast growing. Very easy to prune though. The stems are like a hollow stem, so they don't get really difficult in terms of pruning them back. But that at $6.99 is glorious, isn't it?
Love it.
That would do well in your garden, you know.
It would.
It would.
It would.
Because I think they do, some
I might
part
move,
shade.
so I'm like, I'm holding off now. I'll do pots, but I'm not doing borders.
Right.
All right, we've got to go really, really quick.
Right, so we're going to start talking really, really quickly now.
Erigeron
is next. Bex, go for it.
Erigeron. So every garden should have this. It's a beautiful ground cover plant. Flowers for months and months on end. You get a colour changing with the petals as well. They start out white. They turn into shades of pink. They go a lovely deep pink. And it's just so easy. It's an award winner with the RHS AGM. Everyone needs that in their garden. And
it works out about, what, $2.25 each. And yeah, it's really hard to go wrong with those. Right, my favourite, Verbena bonariensis. It's a big one. It's in a 2-litre pot, 17 centimetres. It's really well established. Now, there's mine in my garden. There's 6 along there. They've been in... Actually, they're probably on year 3 now. Yeah, maybe, or is it just 2?
I think it's 2.
It's about 2.5, actually, because I planted in March 2 years ago, so about 2.5 years. What I love about them, they flower for months. They look great in the winter if you leave the dead flowers on there. They are what we call a transparent plant, because you get these tall stems covered in balls of this lovely kind of lilac-y purple, but look, you can see right through them. So I see them as chorus members. You know, if you plant these amongst other plants in your beds and borders, they just bring the whole thing to life. And they never, ever get too dense. By the way, the stems, even though they're really thin, they're really strong.
Really strong, yeah. They stay nice and upright, and of course all the bees love them.
I'm just going to say that, yeah.
Pollinators adore that plant.
Yeah, and I had loads of butterflies around mine as well. This is interesting.
Sempervivum, the gold nuggets.
Yeah.
So, Sempervivums are having a little bit of a resurgence. People are loving them, an old traditional favourite. But I think the reason that people like these is that there's a few different ones, so you can collect them. But they give you a blaze of colour, don't they? And they change colour throughout the seasons, but they do remain evergreen. They're really easy to look after. Just don't overwater them. They're incredibly drought tolerant. And you've always got little babies on this. So, you know, as one fades away, you can just take it away, and then it will be replaced by one of the chicks that appears. That is one of the most attractive varieties. I've got some that are all green, basically. But look at that. The yellows, the oranges, the burgundies, the greens. Love the colours. And pretty impossible to kill as well. Yeah. They are. Really impossible. They look really nice in little pots. With gravel around them. And that is 560534. Super busy. Now, mate, I know we've still got a lot of you with items in your baskets. We are going to get a few more sellouts, it looks like. The Agapanthus is getting very close to selling out. The cherry tree, you've adored the cherry tree as well. So it's the nation's favourite cherry, it's a Stella. Really sweet, really juicy. You're going to get a bare root. That is multi-branched, that is ready to plant right now. So when it arrives at home, just unwrap it, give it a good soaking overnight. And if you don't know where to plant it, just plant it in a 30-litre pot, 300,005. The lavender is about to sell out as well. This is the Sensational. So we are talking about a brand new variety that's got thicker stems, that is a little bit more upright, but has all of the same benefits as things like the lavender hitcot, for example, the very, very popular UK lavender. So we are looking at beautiful fragrance, amazing for the pollinators, fully winter hardy, evergreen, and that is 561245 at $9.99 for 3. Now also we have got our blueberry collection.
Lowest ever price, you get 3 planters to go with it that are 4.5 litres. The plants will be very happy in there for the first year or so, but then would need to be moved on. And you've got 3 varieties, New Hanover, Blu-ray and the Ozark Blue. And the reason we're giving you 3 is because it extends the season of the blueberries. So rather than just have them all in a few weeks, you get 2 to 3 months potentially of blueberries, certainly a couple of months. 201304. At $13.99. Then we brought you the Japanese sedge collection. 3 lovely grass-type plants that are evergreen, that are easy to grow, but the 3 of them are all different, so you get lots of different shades of greens and creams, clump forming, low maintenance, and you can divide those and take off the offsets as well and get more plants over the years. 561305. And then the Heuchera. A really attractive variety. I mean, the past few years have been some great breeding with Heucheras, and we're getting lots more exciting foliage than I remember. But again, these tend to be evergreen. They will flower as well. They're an easy plant. They will tolerate fairly shady areas as well as sunshine. The one thing I have learned is they do like a fairly moist soil. I've got a few of mine underneath eucalyptus, and they do dry out a little bit. 561255. Now we are nearly out of time. We have got another clearance show on Sunday. We have got a TikTok live this afternoon as well, so if you want to download TikTok, very easy to order, very easy to download. We have got another clearance show on there from 2 till 4, and then we are both back this Sunday, and we go live at 9:30, don't we?
We do indeed, yeah.
And we love our Sundays. We
love it. Absolutely brilliant.
But
make sure you shop ahead of us on the website, please. You're looking for that live now bit. Scroll through. Make sure you put the code in first, because then you're going to see the amazing prices, and that's what we want you to get. This is all about clearance. It's all about the unmissable deals. £6.99 for our multi-branch cherry tree. £3.99 for the Callistemon. £3.99 for the Sempervivum. What else have we got in there? The £13.49 for that Wellbeing Rose. It's beautiful. The Sambucus is just £6.99. There's so much to look at, honestly. Oh, and don't forget all the pots that we've got. We've got some great clearance deals on some pots as well. Yeah, it's fantastic. Love a clearance.
Yeah.
Love a clearance.
And we only do 1 or 2 a year. I've got such a massive order in my head right now. Yeah.
Digitalis is what we're
Stu just said, go on with it. I am trying to present at the same time, you know. I'm a guy, I can't multitask. Right, we've got our Fox Club Digitalis Dalmatian right now. One of my favourites, because I always think Digitalis is that lovely kind of quintessential country cottage look.
Absolutely, and they've got nectar-rich flowers. Bumblebees just love getting in
yeah.
there. Little bumblebee bottoms sticking out the back there. They adore it. Adds height to your borders, and it's a woodland plant, so it really doesn't mind a bit of shade.
I've grown these for many years, and they do look just really, really adorable in an English garden. And the benefit of buying this size, if you ever buy a smaller size, sometimes in the first year you get a few flowers, but they're quite short.
Yeah.
I remember mine, the first year they weren't great. Second year they got to sort of full height. That is already well established in a 2-litre pot. And then we've got a really nice palm.
I want this one, I think. So
you don't have this one,
I don't have this one, and I love it because it is one of the hardiest palms that you can grow in the UK. So this can cope with sub-10 numbers here. So it really is amazing for our UK climates. You get these lovely fan-shaped leaves. It's quite densely packed. It creates lovely shadows. If you've got a tropical planting scheme, it works great. If you plant it out, it can get really tall, like my friends. They live up in Grimsby.
Is that where they've got a bit?
Yeah. I'm sure it's the Trachycarpus. And it is 10 metres in height, and that's what it can get to. You don't have to let it get that tall. It can be a bit shorter.
So who'd have thought you could have a tropical garden even in Grimsby?
You
can.
There you go.
There are certain palms that are very hard in the UK, and that's one of them. Now, the Callistemon is a new variety. It's called honeypot. Really attractive flowers on it. I mean, we know, most people know the Callistemon as a
bottle brush
and as a red flying plant. Occasionally we've had the pink, but this is a brand new variety. We've got these lovely kind of yellowy, creamy, slightly green tones to it. Do give it a bit of protection over the winter. So we sort of, let's say, semi-hardy, but because it's quite a young plant, I would definitely give it a bit of protection over the winter and protect it from frost. 51556 for the Callistemon honeypot there, just £3.99. And Bex's favourite.
Yeah, I love this one. The
I'm
Jack
with you on
Frost, the
this.
Brunnera. I adore these. I always have. I just think they're stunning. I love the big heart-shaped leaves that you get on here. I love the frosting that you've got on there, and those purple flowers that just stand out against the frosted colour of the leaves is incredible. Great ground cover and is a shade-loving plant.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that would look
ticks a few boxes.
fantastic next to the ferns.
Yeah, definitely. Plant it in with your ferns. It's going to be amazing.
And I really like the fact that it flowers, because in your shady areas, I mean, I've got loads of ferns, none of them flower, but with this, you're going to get those really attractive flowers in late spring time as well. And don't look, it's not going to look its best right now.
No, it's a deciduous perennial plant, so
yeah,
it's going to die down a bit. But yeah, it is going to look incredible, and for many years as well, and it'll spread. What
a show we've had, right. We have got a handful of the Agapanthus remaining. So, if you are thinking of getting this, and I mean, they are incredible. Even our usual price, £35 for this. Look at them, they're huge. I'm going to bring that forward.
That is a really well-established plant, isn't it?
That,
so good.
I
think you'll get several flowers off that next year as well. Won't just be one, will it?
And we should say yours will not arrive with a flower on it. It's very unlikely, I should say. A few have still got flowers on, but we just want to show you what they will look like next year. So, don't worry, you will not get a flower probably with yours, but what you're going to get is a really strong, healthy plant that will give you several stems next summertime.
Yeah, and they're so strong.
Yeah.
This is the Agapanthus. I mean, it's the big one. It's the tall one. So this is going to get really nice and big for you. About 1 metre in height, those flowers can get to.
And I think, sadly, the reason why we are getting so close to selling out, a lot of you are buying them in multiples. And I mean, picture one of your borders. You want the sunny border for these. Picture 3 of these. How dramatic and incredible is that going to look? I mean, I'm very lucky. I've got a nice garden, but when I look through magazines and you see those designer gardens, imagine
stately homes.
Yeah. I mean, so, if you can afford it, you could do a whole border in Agapanthus. I've got a sunny border. I'd love to just change it all to Agapanthus.
There you go. Let's do it.
But well, I can't because they've nearly all sold out. But we've still got a good stock of the Cordyline.
Yeah, and this is an amazing one. It's the lime passion. It's the variegation that you've got in here. The creamy yellows, the green stripes, and it's only £6.99. The size of that for £6.99 is amazing, isn't it?
Now, we are selling out of time. You're not. You can still order after the show. If you're streaming later on, we've still got loads of stock of many of the plants available. We've kept a few things back for our Sunday show. We're live at 9:30. Got another clearance show this Sunday. But very quickly, you still get a free gift, even though it's clearance. You get your Blooming Fast worth $4.99, our best-selling fertiliser, and try and get your order to over £40.
You'll get your free delivery. You always need to use the code YGTV4624. That's how you get your deals.
So we're back Sunday. We've got a TikTok live at 2. So if you want to join us on TikTok, you can join us at 2. But keep shopping. Grab these bargains, because it's been amazing, hasn't it?
Loved it. Thanks for your company. See you soon.